Rolling. It's the Major League World Heavyweight Champion, your boy Hammer, Alexander Hammerstone, and you are turning in to Tru Heel Heat. And if you turn it off, I'll hit you with the Nightmare Pendulum.
What's going down? It's your boy, EJ Nduka, the judge, and we're here in New York, the Battle Riot. And make sure y'all tune into Tru Heel Heat. They got it going. I'll see y'all.
You already know what time it is, man. The young goat in the building. Make sure you tune in to Tru Heel Heat podcast.
All right, ready when you are.
Hey guys, I may have go away heat, but these guys have Tru Heel Heat. So you better listen to the podcast or else I'm gonna kick you in your fucking cock and balls.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at Tru Heel Heat. Yeah!
What's up, Tru Heel Heat? Tru Heel Heat.
What's up? Tru Heel Heat.
Bum, 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 bum. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah. It is holiday season. It's the final Tru Heel Heat of 2022. We are festive because it is Christmas, and I got on my jingle balls right on my nipple. Play with my jingle balls there. And we are here to discuss the latest wrestling news, what's been happening, but more importantly, we are here to announce the winners of our 6th annual 2022 Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards, voted on by you. All of you, the subscribers, the supporters of us here at Tru Heel Heat. We are here today to announce the winners. We are here to spread holiday cheer. This is Tru Heel Heat 206, 6th annual Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards. Let's hit the intro. Bum bum! I'm in my award show best. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. We are here for Tru Heel Heat 206, our 6th annual 2022 Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards, revealing the winners, voted on by you for the awards for 2022, and of course discussing the latest wrestling news, including the real reason behind Miro's AEW absence, recap of the shows from this week, quick preview of Wrestle Kingdom 17, since this is our final Tru Heel Heat of 2022. So, I am here, of course, with the beautiful, the lovely Miss Krssi Love, with the rotating tree once again, styling and profiling on us.
You see him styling the profile over there, friends. Look at that. Ain't it beautiful? That's just saying. Good morning. If you see people, spot them out. Merry Christmas, Feliz Cumpleaños. Nope, wrong one. Shit, Feliz Navidad. There you go. Not happy. We could say Feliz Cumpleaños to Jesus. It's okay. That's fine because it is his birthday coming up. So we could say that shit. Good morning. I am so excited. Let's be merry and nice. I'm a little merry, so it's okay.
Yeah, we want the the viewership to go up, so we'll stay on Krissi's tree for a little while since it was a big draw last
Let's see
week.
my t-shirt.
Yeah, go ahead. Show everything off because you're the draw here.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, don't you? Oh shit. Ain't that some, as John Cena salutes you as he goes around the tree, right? Good morning, everybody. It's Christmas Eve. Let's be merry and nice, guys. Let's go.
Absolutely. It is a festive season here at Tru Heel Heat. So of course we had to bring in one of our favorites here, one of our favorite contributors. He is the true draw. He usually draws the numbers here on the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast. So I had to bring him back for the final one of this year. You see him on Rated Raw Superstars. You see him on Elite Heat every single week watching Dynamite as well as Raw. He is in his Cheetos best. We have the true draw, Josh. How you doing, Rod?
Yeah, how's it going, everybody?
Good morning. Good morning.
Also got.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Good morning. Hi, friend.
I could feel the viewership going up as a dog is on screen. Like, if you guys don't know, dogs draw numbers. Usually when Prince is on screen, he draws the big numbers, ladies and gentlemen, and we always appreciate our Prince here. How are you feeling today, Josh?
Now I'm feeling good. Just tired as fuck from work, so.
Same.
I understand. We're gonna make this a fun one of Tru Heel Heat. We have a lot of awards to get into, a lot of recap of the year that was, and what a freaking year 2022 was in professional wrestling. Like doing the tally, I was up to like 4 a.m. doing tallies and counting votes, and yes, with everything. The way we did it this year, we did both basically poll votes on YouTube on our community tab as well as on Facebook. We also took more detailed like top fives from a couple of our nominations and nominees as well. So yeah, it was a lot to kind of tally up, put together. Had to do the graphics this year. I remember last year Romeo did the graphics and he was like, no, I'm on vacation. He already clocked out for the holidays. So he was like, no, I can't do it. So I had to do that early this morning.
Damn.
So, but
sorry, friend.
we also got a lot of wrestling news to discuss as well from the week that was, and we are happy you are joining us for the final Tru Heel Heat of 2022. Remember to drop the thumbs up on this video, share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family. And Wendy's here. Hi. There you go. Got everybody. Got the whole family here. You got Prince, Cheeto Man, Josh. You got Wendy here. It's a festive season here at Tru Heel Heat. So remember to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. We'll have our end of year list that will be dropping over the next couple of days. We had the best AEW matches of 2022 that dropped yesterday on the channel. You could check out, as well as tomorrow we got our best WWE matches of 2022 on Monday, best New Japan matches of 2022, and we're doing a top 20 matches of 2022. Plus a bunch of other lists until the beginning of 2023. But of course, we want you to sound off in the live chat. Let us know how you're feeling. If you're feeling generous, feeling in the holiday spirit, send a super chat donation. We'll definitely highlight your comment on screen. We got Dolores here with us, one of our great Patreon backers, saying what's up, everyone. We got Vala B saying that MLW showing us love. They are? Really? I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. Please let us know, Vala B. I don't know.
I think it's about the intros.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, this is we gave you a more of a Tru Heel Heat medley of intros and drops that we got throughout the year. Our producer, I believe, if he goes to YouTube, if he logs on to Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, you could put in a poll and drop. He wants the best drops of 2022 award. So maybe we'll do an in-chat poll. Ace says, "Good morning, everyone." We got the Negro Buck Nick Jackson saying, "What's up, fam?" We got Bala B who says, "Sid, I did not tune in to watch you play with your titties. It was my jingle balls." You don't like jingle balls? All right. Not in the festive spirit. You, my boy Blue, says, "Happy birthday, mythical white Jesus." Seems legit. Yep. Seems legit there. That's
Jesus' birthday, yo.
I don't think Jesus is white, though. I don't think.
Right.
Jesus
I was
is
say
white,
he's
though.
definitely not white.
I don't think
he's definitely your complexion, SP, for sure.
I mean, we going
maybe
into politics and religion, so I don't want to get started there. We're in the holiday spirit, y'all. Frantic World saying, "What's up, THH and chat, and Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you as well." We also got here. Yeah, a bunch of the folks we usually see here. We got Raggedy here saying, "Good morning, good people." And Dolores adding, "Join the Patreon. Best money you will spend." Yes, indeed. And we're going to have brand new content coming to Patreon starting in 2023. So first, I want to start off before we get into the awards. Of course, we have the Tru Heel Roll Call, shouting out all of you supporting us on social media, as well as the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel here. We got our top 3 conversation starters on the Tru Heel's Facebook group page. We got the Quincy Jones show. No, I believe it's actually the Negro Buck Nick Jackson is back in the top 3. He made it back, y'all. Between his shifts at work, he made it back into the top 3. We had number 2, Joe Bellini, and number 1, Alan Weinstein. Once again, continuing his streak on top. You had the Patreon backers, Vala B, Alan Weinstein, Nick Jackson, Alex McCarthy, Professor Kriss, Austin K, You My Boy Blue, Yachty, Robert, Steve, Antoine, 5th Generation Carney, DJ Eric, Darius, John, aka WrestleScopes, Dan, Kobe, Queen Moan, and Dolores. Thank you so much for backing us up on Patreon. We came to Patreon in 2022, so we're very happy for all the support we've been receiving, and hopefully we can help raise that even more in 2023. But wanted to ask y'all, I had some awards that I didn't tell you about.
What?
But Krssi Love, I'm gonna put you on the spot for first one. Reflecting back on 2022, let us know what was either your favorite moment or guest from the past 12 months here on the Tru Heel Heat flagship podcast.
My favorite, oh damn, the cookout was one of the best ones we did, man. When we just randomly Romeo kept just adding people to the cookout. We had who was the guest that day?
Alex McCarthy, when we had both Sat and Alex. Yeah,
that was a great one. Cresta was one of that. I think that was one of my very favorite ones, which was like a few weeks ago. Last week was great too. I think the drafts were good. I think we how many drafts?
My favorite is Us Against Y'all. Us Against Y'all was like the just the shit talking and everything that went down. That was great stuff.
Yeah, we had great episodes this year. We were blessed. I mean, we've been through a lot these last few years, and we've just been doing such good shit. You know, I'm just excited for what 23 will be for us.
Yes, I'm very excited for what's to come for us 2023. Josh, you've been on a lot of Tru Heel Heat, the channel, not exactly the flagship podcast, but throughout the year on the channel. You've probably been on it probably more than me because you're on the watch-alongs every single week. But what has been your best moment or guest that we've had on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel overall over the past 12 months? And of course, we want to hear from y'all in the live chat. That's the most important. Sound off, or we'll make a chat poll sometime during the podcast for the best guest of Tru Heel Heat of 2022 for y'all to vote on. But Josh, what about you?
Maybe my favorite guest, maybe Professor Kriss. It was always great every time he came on. Not only him, just being, himself, being funny, but always dropping some knowledge, certain things that people might not think about. He was always the one that would talk about it. He'll lay it out. It example, like the whole CM Punk Young Bucks thing, when everyone was, they were siding with the Young Bucks, but then he made it clear, like on both sides, why they were wrong.
Yeah.
But overall, it's been a great year. The channel has grown significantly over the past year. Being on the watch longs has been fun too. Mostly
watch longs enhanced this year. Put it like that.
Yeah, man, believe me, it's been more fun watching Raw because Raw's been rough lately. So like, watching it like that has been a lot better. It's been so much better watching Raw in this capacity.
I'm pretty sure that's why we continue to do it for sure. Vala B says the cookout episode, Cresta and Kenny Bolin coming back on the show were his favorites of Tru Heel Heat's flagship podcast. We got Negro Buck saying as the Codyverse turns, yes, was definitely a highlight of the year. That was just my favorite. That made Tru Heel Heat like very anticipated for me to like break down everything. And I was like, the more information that we got throughout the week made it better. Yeah, Romeo adding the music to it. We're just gems.
Yo, that whole time, man. Even like in general,
was a crazy time. Yeah.
Like that whole entire time, because it's like, you don't know what to believe or whatever the case may be. But once this guy finally showed up at WrestleMania, I was happy, regardless of what people want to say, like, hey, he should have stayed. But, he has a personal goal. And I don't think, as fans, I think we should appreciate that a little bit more. Like if if an individual wants to go somewhere and they have a set goal and they want to accomplish that, I think we should support that.
This is true, and it was crazy how the kind of the reports went back and forth throughout the year, throughout the couple of weeks that we talked about it. Frantic World says 2022 was a crazy year for pro wrestling. 2023 is going to be off the walls. We also got Negro Buck who shouts out the educator. Yes, Victor. When Victor first time on the show was probably my favorite guest this year. Dolores says, I love Cresta episode. Frantic World saying the Vince McMahon news was so crazy this year. That was a lot to go back and
still going. And it's still going.
Yes. Last week we had Vince McMahon in the title. Whenever we had Vince McMahon in the title, man, I gotta count the times we had Vince McMahon in the title for Tru Heel Heat this year. We also got You My Boy Blue, shout out a bunch of folks saying Professor Kriss, Sat, Alex, Cresta, the Wrestle Club dude, Victor Perry, Kenny Bolin, Dutch Mantel, Rick Ucchino,
the Wrestling Club dude.
We also got Negro Bug says one of my favorite moments was definitely being able to be part of the Tru Heel Heat anniversary show. Yes, our 5-year anniversary show, which was one of our bigger shows of the year. Our 200th episode was this year. So I just want to get it out the way up front at the top of the show. Thank you so much for all the support, all the guys that have made the channel grow. We went over 3,000 subscribers this year, on our way halfway to 4,000 subscribers going into 2023. So we appreciate how this channel has grown and all the kind of support and all the usual people that we have like that are so loyal to the channel, joining us every single Saturday, joining us for the watch alongs. We really truly appreciate all of you. And Frantic World adding Cresta, Dutch, and Rick was funny. Yes, indeed. So that's a couple of, I went to reminisce about the year that was for Tru Heel Heat ourselves as overall as the show. But it is time, y'all. It is time for the 6th annual Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards. And man, another reason why I had to stay up to 4 a.m. yesterday is that I not only did all the tallying for all the awards, I actually went back and watched our past award shows so we can have an understanding of the history, the legacy of some of these awards. Our first one, though, is more of an award that we're kind of making into one. Previously, we have had the Tru Heel Heat basically wrestling moment of the year. Let me go back. Let me go in my files. I have to switch up here because I have the stat sheet here, the awards history in front of me. But as far as like best moment, we really started voting on that starting last year. Last year, the best moment of the year was CM Punk returning to wrestling, which was also the biggest news story of 2021. And this year, Krssi, we were just doing a biggest wrestling news story of the year because, like we said, here at Tru Heel Heat, we've been busy, and especially with the flagship podcast growing in viewership every single week because of wrestling news. We wanted to highlight that up front and center as we usually do with our top news. Krssi Love, what do you think was the 2022 biggest wrestling news story?
I would want to say maybe Cody.
Cody returning to WWE, you would say?
Yes.
All right. Josh, what about you?
I'm going to go with Vince forced retirement.
Okay.
That is like, to me, that is like the overwhelming favorite.
Yeah, that's not even right.
And to me, if it wasn't for that, I think the CM Punk fiasco would have been number one.
Yeah, I think Brawl Out would have been number one. I think Cody got pushed
so
far down. Like, Cody seems like such a big news story in April, but that's like 7-8 months ago now. And like the Brawl Out,
like right now. Okay.
No, the overall year. The
overall year.
What was the biggest wrestling news story?
Yeah, but the thing is with Cody too is that his was like more positive. You know, him just jumping, going to company.
We want negative stuff. We want people to be like talking about. Okay, got it. All right, so then it got to be. Then it must be the Bucks and Punk. Then I mean, not the Bucks. Yeah, the Elite and CM Punk having a fight.
Oh, you're going with Brawl Out.
Yep, gonna brawl
out. So we got. We're going with Brawl Out. I want to see a couple of, if anyone here wants to say their moment of the year or biggest wrestling news story. We got Ace in the chat who says TK buying ROH. Interesting choice there. We got Vala B who says BK's forced retirement. We got Frantic World who said, yeah, it comes down to Vince and the All Out media scrum. Rickety with a good shout there that a lot of people, another big story that I feel like has been that is now coming like more to fruition.
Sasha.
Yeah, more for Sasha, but Sasha and Naomi walking out was one of the bigger wrestling.
That was the big thing.
I would say that's like in the
top five.
Top five, yeah, top five
for sure.
But we have the envelope. Oh, we have the envelope. Okay.
You said we got the envelope. I can't.
All right, folks. With 81% of the vote, no surprise here, the 2022 biggest wrestling news story was Vince McMahon. It was in June that the Wall Street Journal dropped a report that blew up the wrestling world, revealing that Vince McMahon had sexual misconduct allegations and payouts to former employees, summing up to well over $15 million. This eventually leads to Vince McMahon showing up on WWE television. I think that's a side of the story that a lot of people don't want to mention anymore. But yes, he showed up on WWE television on both SmackDown and Raw to kind of be defiant, be against it. Then more stuff would come out, and eventually Vince McMahon was forced to make the decision to retire and resign. And this led into Triple H taking over as creative, Stephanie and Nick Khan becoming co-CEOs. We talked about it last week. Wall Street Journal releasing a new report saying that Vince wants to make a comeback. So this is a story that is still ongoing, but this is so mind-blowing and something that I don't think any of us predicted going into 2022. It had to take the award here.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't see it coming.
Yeah.
I didn't at all. I'm going to be straight up. I didn't at all expect that.
It was just like, honestly, you know, crazy though. Like when it happened, I honestly thought it was gonna like. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna blow over because I thought it was just gonna be like, oh.
I think a lot of us predicted that when it happened. Like we were like, oh, this will blow over. He's defiant.
And then it just got worse.
Yeah,
it just spread like wildfire.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That is the best. That's the best explanation for it. It spread like wildfire. We never saw this coming, and I don't think there was anything bigger in.
It just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Then Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
I will never forget 2022 because of this moment. That moment that we thought would never happen, ladies and gentlemen. So. Well deserved. Biggest wrestling news story of 2022. Sound off in the live chat. Tell us your thoughts on that award right there as we move on to the most outstanding wrestler of 2022. Basically, this is the award giving to the specific wrestler that had the best catalog of matches throughout the past 12 months. Who always delivered in the ring. This is different from the male wrestler of the year, which will be our final award we're going to announce today on the show. The male wrestler of the year is basically for overall. That's with promos, being a draw, being the top star of your company, your impact on the company, and your in-ring work. This specific award is just for the in-ring work. In 2018, we gave and 2017, we gave this award to Kenny Omega. In 2019, we gave this award to Will Ospreay. In 2020, we gave this award to Will Ospreay. In 2021, we gave this award to Will Ospreay. So, I mean, this might become the Will Ospreay award if it is him here. But what is your choice for the most outstanding wrestler of 2022, Miss Krssi Love?
I think it would have to be maybe Bryan Danielson.
Bryan Danielson for you. Who do you?
I don't know.
Who you got, Josh?
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay. I also have Will Ospreay. I know you were trying. You were trying to be different. You was trying to be different.
I tried to be different. I did. Because, you can't always keep the same answer all the time. That would be boring, people. Come on.
But I'm sure
you can't. Right. Which
he was the
I agree.
Man in wrestling, so
Yeah, which I agree with that. The problem is that Ospreay just seems to get better every year, so it's like you can't really
do, ladies and gentlemen.
He's like wine. He really is.
I think wasn't there like a 2-week span where he had like 3 5-star matches? Like wasn't there like a spam of
there was the summer in August where he had a 5 3/4 matchup with Kazuchika Okada in the G1. He turned around, had a 5-star classic with Ricky Knight Jr. in Rev Pro, and then turned around and went to Dynamite and had a 5-star trios match with Aussie Open against Death Triangle. And then the following week went back and had 4 3/4 with the Elite.
Right, exactly.
Which pretty much sold up this award for me, but we're gonna see. Sometimes the Tru Heels want to go against the norm as well. So Krssi Love is probably fair warning us that that's sometimes how people think. I don't want to go for the obvious one. I want to be different. No, I just want people to accept the assignment.
Okay,
just accept the assignment.
I will go with my answer. My answer was Will Ospreay. Yeah, I'll accept the assignment. I won't answer wrong anymore for the rest of the fucking show. I did pick Will Ospreay. Fine. He won last year and he probably did win today because he's that fucking good. Okay, finished. Thank you.
And with 64% of the vote, so not as overwhelming as our first award, with 64% of the vote, yes, it is Will Ospreay, the 2022 most outstanding wrestler. This man started off the year 5 3/4 stars against Kazuchika Okada at Wrestle Kingdom for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. He turned around in January. He was already the wrestler of the month. So he turned in January. He did that match. He had the match with Michael Oku in Ref Pro that got 5 stars. He had a 5-star classic later in the year with Tetsuya Naito. Had 5.5 stars with Shingo Takagi in the G1 Climax 32 tournament. The match with Okada that I said before in the G1.
Man right there. I'm just saying. Oh my God.
And that is now 4 straight years Will Ospreay most outstanding wrestler of the year for us here at Tru Heel Heat for our 6th annual awards. I don't think it's no surprise there. Dolores saying, and the winner of most outstanding wrestler, Will Ospreay. Negro Buck saying, can't go wrong with the Billy Groat. We had Frantic World who says, yeah, Will Ospreay had a crazy year. I didn't even mention the Forbidden Door, the show stealer with Orange Cassidy at Forbidden Door. That's another great matchup. We had that on our list of the top 10 best AEW matches of 2022.
Was that also 5 stars?
Oh yes, Forbidden Door was great. Yep.
That was 4 3/4 stars. 4 3/4. Yeah.
Close.
Very close. He had a bunch of 4. He had a 4 3/4 star match with Dax Harwood on an episode of Dynamite. So this just shows you Will Ospreay, and no one was putting out great matches quite like Will Ospreay in 2022. But
you gotta love it.
Now we go to a very interesting one in our history here at Tru Heel Heat with our year-end awards. The most underrated wrestler. Most underrated and overrated are usually our most debatable award winners every single year here at the year-end awards.
I don't recall that one in the thing on this Google sheet.
Most underrated? Yeah, most underrated and most overrated is on that. Is on that list I gave you. But previous winners of most underrated, you had 2018 with Cesaro. 2019, I believe it was also Cesaro for some reason. 2020, most underrated was Ricky Starks. 2021, most underrated, I believe it was. Yeah, I believe we did most we did most improved instead of most underrated last year. So that's our previous winners of most underrated wrestler of the year. I will start things off and I will say most underrated wrestler of the year is Miro. This man has been healthy. We're going to talk about all of the news that came out this week with a possible WWE return, like you see in the title, kind of teased by his wife. But Miro has been criminally underutilized by AEW that I have to go with Miro here. And I think Rusev has won our most underrated before, or should have won our most underrated before. But this year, he was my winner. Josh, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Dax.
Dax Harwood?
Yeah, his singles matches have been very impressive. I don't think nobody really expected that. And then every time he has a singles match, not only everyone looks forward to it, but he's always delivering. So I gotta give it to him.
Krssi, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Darby Allin because
Darby Allin.
Any match, even if he's being tossed as a rag doll, he still deliver. He's still being tossed like a rag doll, and he still gives you a great match every time he steps in the ring.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout right there. I'll give you credit for that one because I don't think it was listed in our options. People could, of course, add any options they like on any of these awards, and of course, other people can vote on it. But I didn't see Darby Allin said a lot.
Thanks,
You my boy Blue says Dax was definitely his runner-up for most outstanding. We also got over here with a bunch of people very happy with the Vince winning the winner of the biggest news story of the year. Frantic World said Triple H, Stephanie, and Nick said Vince gotta go ASAP. We got you, my boy Blue, saying Action Andretti, most outstanding wrestler. I mean, very impressive for one match. Very impressive. We also got Yuma Boy Blue agreeing with Josh with Dax for most underrated. So let's get to it for the award winner. In second place, we have with 13% of the vote. It was in fact Miro. So Miro is our runner-up, and coming in at number one, our 2022 most underrated wrestler of the year is, of course, Dax Harwood of FTR. What a year for Dax Harwood as a single star, as well as a tag team specialist. The year for FTR with all their classic matches, whether it be against the Briscoes, the Young Bucks, Aussie Open. But Dax Harwood on his own put an incredible catalog of matches. His match against CM Punk that created that kind of relationship between CM Punk and FTR. He had his match recently with Bryan Danielson. He versus Claudio Castagnoli this year. Yep. Man, he was delivering. The match with Cash in the Owen Hart Cup was incredible. Adam Cole match in the Owen Hart Cup as well was great stuff. Him and Jay Lethal.
Too many
this
bangers.
Man has delivered.
Yes.
He's delivered at a high level, and AEW should have probably used him more. So
he just had one what 2 weeks ago too. Who did he go against?
I think that was the Bryan Danielson match, wasn't it? EBB, to answer this, by underrated, you mean underutilized by their company, or a wrestler who's been killing it but not getting much recognition from fans? If you
it was somebody
on the poll
actually
put specifically that it's most underrated, basically either by the company or by the fans. Basically, but not the fans recognizing or paying attention to how great they are. So I kind of made it over encompassing, but I like that comment asking that question, because I did specify that when I put out the poll. We got Negro Buck who says Dax the Axe. We also got him saying Dax and versus Ospreay was killer. I actually went back and watched that before we did our AEW matches of 2022. Man, it just missed out. It's such a great matchup to go back and watch. So got to give it credit to Dax Harwood. What a year. Most underrated wrestler of 2022 for us. 6th annual Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards. And here we go. What is usually the bane of my existence when we do these year-end awards. The most overrated wrestler of the year. Past winners in 2017, we had Roman Reigns. In 2018, we had Ronda Rousey. In 2019, we had Becky Lynch. In 2020, we had Otis. In 2021, we had Charlotte Flair. What a history of award winners for this one. The most overrated wrestler of 2022. Josh, who's yours?
Elias.
What?
He was waiting for that.
Otis? Wow.
This made his day. He really voted for Elias. This man's petty. His man's pettiness knows no bounds. Krssi Love, who's your most overrated?
Ezekiel.
I'm done. It took me a minute. It took me a minute for it to hit me. I'm done. I'm done with y'all both voting for Elias. Y'all so petty. Y'all know y'all petty for that.
Overrated. You didn't hear me? Oh yes, I must be delayed.
Yeah, you're delayed.
I gotta be delayed.
Yeah.
Because I was saying no one heard it at all. I'm like, what's happening?
I didn't hear it. Josh, did you hear it?
Her what?
Her vote for most overrated after she said Ezekiel.
No.
No? Oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe she needs to reboot there, but you got Elias and Ezekiel for my co-host here. I'm gonna go with most overrated. I gave it to Austin Theory. I just think about him.
That's a good one.
And winning Money in the Bank, and it just feeling like it was too soon. So that was my vote. But of course, let's go to what the Tru Heel Heat fans vote. With 50% of the vote, most overrated
that's a good
for 2022.
one. That is definitely a good one.
is Rowdy Ronda Rousey. The SmackDown Women's Champion is our first ever two-time winner of most overrated. All she has to do is step into a fucking ring and y'all vote her the most overrated. This is ridiculous. Y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are petty. But I will say,
wow,
she is more deserving of. We lost Krssi.
Wow, she got so upset. She got so upset she left. Look at that.
As soon as Krssi saw Ronda Rousey won, she just left on us. But I feel like this was so undeserving in 2018 when the fans voted for this. I will say this year, a little bit more understandable. Wouldn't you say, Josh?
This year, a little bit more just because the momentum is just not there. And then also, she's on fucking SmackDown. SmackDown has the worst women's division all around, you know.
Full stop.
Like, so it's not even close.
Full stop. SmackDown is the absolute dog shit worst. They're AEW, even AEW, when they didn't care about the women at all, was doing better than what SmackDown is right now. Like, I feel like I've seen the same fucking matchups on SmackDown in the women's division for months. It's not even funny. It's really not funny at all how bad it is. But yes, I digress. Let's move on as we wait for Krssi Love to rejoin us. Let's go to our most improved wrestler. So sound off in the live chat. Let us know. We got EBB who says SP3 better not say Elrod. We got Negro Buck who says Josh said that with his full chest.
Oh, that definitely was not my full chest.
We got Raggedy who voted most overrated CM Punk. Wow. We got Frantic World who says Roman Reigns is so overrated. We also got Negro Buck who went for Ronda Rousey. We got EBB who says Elias, man, was missing for most of the year though. Ezekiel? Question mark.
I mean, they both suck equally, so I mean, it don't matter at this point. You flip-flop, I'm fine with that.
Flip, flop, and fly. Dolores saying, and the winner of Overrated, Ronda Rousey. Negro Buck says, I know it hurts SP Sid to say that. Yes, it does. Just a little bit. Nope. Yeah, Negro Buck, that's also true. SmackDown needs a major overhaul in general. We got EBB who says, I hope she always wins every year just to see the disappointment on SP3's face. I'm glad you get enjoyment out of that. My pain. Asshole. Most improved wrestler of 2022. Who you got, Josh?
I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch.
Wow, most improved Becky Lynch. I went with Jamie Hayter. I went with Jamie Hayter here. I thought that she was very improved in the ring throughout the past 12 months, elevating herself in AEW. But it is another person or people that might have got this from AEW with an overwhelming, this is almost as close, almost as overwhelming of a landslide as Vince McMahon winning the biggest wrestling news story of 2022. We have the most improved of 2022, the Acclaimed, Anthony Bowens and Max Caster, 76% of the vote, the most improved wrestlers of 2022. And I would just say overall, this was more of a in status. In their star power, they were elevated in 2022, coming up with the Scissor Me Daddy Ass stuff, with the Scissor Me stuff, with the association with Daddy Ass that just elevated him, got Billy Gunn as over as he's been throughout his 30-year career, and Max Caster's gotten better in the ring, showing off more strength. Anthony Bowens has always been great in the ring and has improved on the mic. He's so confident on the mic now in these long talking segments. I think this is well deserved. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I'm actually. I don't want to say I'm surprised, but I was like, oh shit, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of having an overall tag team, but having them on, I think it makes sense because. As some people don't know, I used to work with Anthony Bowens, and he's actually one of my good friends too.
Yeah.
So, seeing him, what he's doing is not surprising to me because I was like, I knew he was capable of it. You just gotta, give him, his moment. Yeah, give him the time, and he's been showing that. He's been showing what he's worth, and it's everything's working out for them. I think both of them being in a tag team is perfect for them right now, and it's been showing all year. I mean, it's been showing ever since All Out. It's just been showing like everything's been growing. And then that was pretty much like their biggest moment was All Out, even though they lost. But but it ended up working out for them because now they're the tag team champions. So, and they've been delivering in their tag team matches. So that doesn't hurt either.
Absolutely. I think this is well deserved. Definitely, if I did a top 5 for most improved, the Acclaim would have been in there. But we go for a most improved to breakout star of 2022. To recap with most improved award history for the year-end awards in 2018 when we started taking. Did we take a most improved? Yeah, most improved in 2018. Ironically enough, you're gonna laugh, Josh. 2018 most improved was Elias.
Most improved in what? He always sucked. In what?
Hey, I just read the awards.
No, I'm just saying it. Because I remember when I heard that, I was like, what? I remember when that shit happened. I'm like, yo, people must be watching blindfolded his matches because how is that most improved? We've been the same guy in the ring ever since NXT, the main roster. He's been the same guy. He's been the same loser.
2019 most improved was Hangman Adam Page. 2020 most improved was Darby Allin. 2021 most improved was Dante Martin. Krssi Love is back with us. We just went over the history of most improved and gave out the award winner. I don't know if you caught it, but who's your most improved for 2022?
Most improved? Oof. Ricky Starks.
That's a good shout too. That's a very good shout as well. Very good shout. The winner was
who won?
The Acclaimed. The Acclaimed won most improved for 2022.
Okay, I can respect that. Okay.
Yes.
That's cute. The Scissor Me did take them really over the top. Great.
So we're bringing back an award this year. We got the 2022 Breakout Star of the Year. We did this one back in 2020, and Orange Cassidy won for 2020. We took the year off last year, and now we're bringing it back. This is given to the star of any promotion that you felt was elevated the most. So the Acclaim winning most improved. They could be in the conversation for this one here as well. Josh, who you got for Breakout Star of 2022?
Breakout Star. I don't know if he might not win this one. But I'm gonna go with Speedball. He's been killing it on Impact. He's been killing it on the indie scene. He's been having fantastic matches. So
that's all I was gonna say. Speedball. Damn it.
That's my vote too. I think it's Speedball and Mike Bailey. I think it's Speedball and Mike Bailey. When it came to the independent scene, no one made me want to watch independent matches more than Speedball and Mike Bailey. His matches with Takeshita, his matches with Blake Christian and GCW, his match with Will Ospreay and Rev Pro, his hour-long classic with Josh Alexander and Impact Wrestling is one of the best TV matches of the year. Speedball and Mike Bailey, well deserving of being a breakout star. That's my vote. But who's your vote, Miss Krssi Love?
I was gonna say Gunther, aka Volta.
Volta, Gunther. Yeah, that's a good shout too. Coming to the main roster.
Sammy's a good one. Yeah,
having that great match
that they're talking at the bottom.
Yeah, with Sammy is kind of like iffy for me because Sammy, character-wise, he's had like a great run, but his wrestling kind of has not been the same. So that's why it's a little. Okay. It's a little kind of a gray area for me. Now you say like best performer, like character. I think Sami Zayn will be up there. It's just a little bit different for me because we've been so used to seeing him being in the ring, being great in the ring, and now he's kind of he's taking a step back, which I mean it's not a bad thing. He's focused on his character, and also with all the injuries he's dealt with, necessarily doesn't want to put his body on the line that much.
Yeah. It makes sense. It makes sense completely. But let's go to what the Tru Heel Heat fans voted on. And this is another one. These final 3 awards that we're going to say for this segment is kind of landslide wins. The 2022 Breakout Star of the Year with 70% of the vote is Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn had an extraordinary year, despite what Josh said. If you talk about just character work, sometimes people feel the character is more important than the in-ring work. And Sami Zayn had a hell of a character year. The first half of the year, from January on, he's feuding with Johnny Knoxville in a feud that overachieved and had one of the best build-ups to WrestleMania 38, and then overachieved again at WrestleMania 38. And I would say behind Austin's return, Bianca and Becky, and Cody's return,
he definitely had
this was the best thing on WrestleMania was Sami Zayn versus Johnny Knoxville. And then after WrestleMania, he becomes Randall, the snitch for the Bloodline, and this starts the slow burn into him becoming the honorary Uso of the Bloodline, and all the fantastic segments that he had in the fall. Throughout that, he was involved in the great men's War Games matchup. He had great TV matches with Matt Riddle as well as AJ Styles. So I would say Sami Zayn, well deserving of being the breakout star of 2022. Good choice by the Tru Heels. We got Negro Buck saying, good point by Josh, talking about Sami not being the same in-ring worker that he once was. We also got Dolores, who says the winner of Breakout, Sami Zayn. Negro Buck saying, this pick is very oozy. Indeed. It is indeed very oozy. Now, let's go to the best. This is one that we've been doing from the very beginning, the best baby face, and of course, then the best Tru Heel of 2022, the best baby face of the year in 2017. We gave that to Kenny Omega and AJ Styles. In 2018, we gave that to AJ Styles. In 2019, we gave that one to Jon Moxley. In 2020, that one went to Drew McIntyre. In 2021, best babyface went to did we do best babyface? I don't know if we did best babyface last year. It doesn't say we did best style and best guest last year, but we're bringing back best babyface of the year. But what a history! AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, Jon Moxley, Kenny Omega been past winners. Who is this year's best babyface of the year, Miss Krssi Love?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Babyface. I'll give it to Jon Moxley again.
We got Negro Buck saying Jon Moxley, as well as Rickety saying Ricky Starks. Josh, who you got?
Ricky Starks is a good one.
I'm going to go with Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks out of nowhere just became one of the best. All it took was one fucking promo. This man became one of the best babyface. I still remember the promo at Fight for the Fallen after losing the FTW championship to Hook, and that promo that just instantly turned him into a babyface, and then Powerhouse Hobbs turning heel on him, and then how he's closed off the year with the great promo against MJF and a great main event matchup, and now he's positioned into a feud with Chris Jericho. So it's so much to kind of take in and to enjoy. So Ricky Starks is definitely a good shout. Frantic World saying Mox and Ricky Starks. We got Bell saying I'm conflicted. So let's go to what the Tru Heels voted on for the best babyface of 2022. This one might be our biggest landslide with 90% of the vote. I'm going to tell you,
90?
Literally, only 4 other people got votes for this one. This man overwhelmingly winning the 2022 best babyface is Jon Moxley. I can't argue with that one. Can't argue with that one. The workhorse of AEW coming through when they needed him, just like he did during the pandemic. Jon Moxley coming back, having that kind of like rally cry promo after coming back from rehab, dealing with his demons, then going on the nice run, having the feud with Bryan Danielson that led to the great match at Revolution, the great segment with William Regal return coming to AEW and forming the Blackpool Combat Club with his former proteges, all the great promos he's had throughout the year, all the great matches, not just in AEW and GCW, New Japan. Jon Moxley, I think, is a deserving best babyface of the year, and he's definitely my choice as well.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Indeed. And now, to end off this segment, one of the bigger awards for us here at Tru Heel Heat, we deal with the Tru Heels, so of course, we gotta go to the best Tru Heel of 2022. Josh, who you got?
Myself.
I'm like, who you got, Josh?
That's a great one.
Nah, I gotta go with Tru Heel Romeo.
Will you stop? Someone that's been between the ropes.
Oh, between the ropes. Oh, this year, I mean, what, we're gonna go with MJF again? I mean, there's nobody else better. I mean,
who you got, Miss Krssi Love?
CM Punk.
Oh shit. No.
He's a hater.
Wow, just out of nowhere, just shock factor. Just take that. The hate is real. Oh man.
Oh, is this a kayfabe award or is this like a shoot award?
I guess I don't know. That pick surprised me. I didn't expect that. Well done, Miss Krssi Love.
Thanks, friends. I try,
well
you know.
Well done. I'm impressed. 2017 big Tru Heel. We had 2017 was Cody Rhodes. 2018 was Tommaso Ciampa. 2019 was MJF. 2020 was Roman Reigns. 2021 was MJF. So we had MJF, 2-time winner. Roman Reigns is another good choice. Good shout. We got Bell saying Voldemort, aka Vince McMahon.
Oh shit.
We also got EBB said, for me, it's Gunther, but can't complain if it's MJF. And Negro Buck saying MJF is the Tru Heel. Yes, it might become the MJF award with 83% of the vote. The 2022 Tru Heel of the Year is the AEW World Champion, MJF. MJF started off the year in one of the greatest rivalries in AEW history against CM Punk.
Demand a recount. This is blasphemy.
Culminating in their showdown at Revolution, the dog collar match. And then he had the great feud with Wardlow, keeping his thumb on his former employee until he overcame him. You had all the contract drama that led to his absence and led to his pipe bomb promo in June in Los Angeles. He then returns at All Out as the great promo with William Regal leading up to Full Gear, all the great promos that he had up into there, defeating Jon Moxley in what was a great main event, and then his great program with Ricky Starks to end off 2022. MJF, the 2022 Tru Heel of the Year. Other than that, I would say the only person that got a couple of more votes was Jay White, actually. Not even Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns got one or two, but Jay White got a majority of the rest of the percentage there.
Yeah.
So
that's a good one there. That's a good one. Like no one picked Punk. Wow, this is crazy. I need to see.
I think there were some people that did add him to the poll at the end. So you know, the people keep it consistent. I got to give them.
Be like Donald Trump. This is a witch hunt.
Oh shit!
God damn it, we're gonna get him. Well, let's get into what we missed before we continue on with the rest of our awards. This week you had AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash, Josh and Krssi. They did 957,000 viewers, so actually up from last week's Winter is Coming show. And this one, in my opinion, had the better match on either of the last two shows, in the main event of Jamie Hayter defeating Hikaru Shida in an absolute banger of a main event to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. Post-match, Toni Storm returned to stop a post-match beatdown before Saraya made the save for Storm and Shida, running off Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter. The Elite basically kept the series alive with Death Triangle, defeating them in a fun no disqualification match 5 to make the series 3-2 heading into next week. Post-match, Death Triangle attacked the Elite, bloodying them ahead of match 6, the Falls Count Anywhere. We also had Ricky Starks absolutely roasting Chris Jericho, saying that he looked like a single father on his 5th divorce and more before getting drunk by the JAS. However, Action
so
Andretti made the save before he got a fireball to the face later in the night. You also had Bryan Danielson called out MJF before being interrupted by Ethan Page and Stokely Hathaway, who called Bryan Danielson a raggedy bitch. Page versus Danielson is set for next week's New Year Smash edition.
Such good
you also
shit.
had so much great stuff on this show. Yeah, John Moxley beat Darius Martin in a solid bout after calling out Hangman Adam Page for whining about the concussion. The Guns defeated FTR in a very surprising result here as FTR's downward spiral continues. You also had one of the strangest segments in AEW history.
Oh my God, what?
As Rick Ross
I'm so, and
got on a live mic and said that Keith Lee looked like a big motherfucker before random tattooed guy plus dollar store Brock Lesnar came out to help form
damn,
Mogul.
not Dollar Store, like Dollar Tree, a Family Dollar friend. Damn,
Dollar Tree, Brock Lesnar.
Dollar Tree.
They formed
He
Mogul
really did look
affiliates.
like that, though.
Mogul affiliates with Swerve Strickland and Rick Ross in what was a critically panned segment on AEW Dynamite.
So sad.
Some people calling it an absolute mess, but this kind of show had it all. This had the greatness of AEW, it had the good of AEW, had the bad of AEW, and had the ugly of AEW. With that Swerve Strickland, Keith Lee, Rick Ross segment. Rick Ross saying you a big motherfucker might go down in right up there with Beat That Bitch's Ass from LaMelo Ball as one of the greatest live mic slips of all time. What do y'all think about Holiday Bash, and what was your highlight, Krssi?
That segment was very cringeworthy. I did have high expectations when it first started, but then it went through a downward spiral, if that makes sense. And then you can see Tony Schiavone's face kind of looking like, I don't know if this is working, guys. Like, the crowd was not into it. Then you kept having Rick Ross like chiming in like a hype man. It wasn't good. And I love Rick Ross. Rick Ross is awesome, but like this was not it, guys. I don't know what happened. I don't know who dropped the ball. And like I said, the show overall was good. It was like a slinky, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It was just, I don't know. That segment, and it was in a bad spot for that segment too.
Yes, that was the other thing for it. It was just weird, the segment placing and everything. And I know the format of a usual Dynamite episode was kind of thrown on its head because the woman had the main event. And I would honestly say, outside of Rosa and Baker, Hikaru Shida and Jamie Hayter might be the greatest women's Dynamite match of all time. Outside of Baker and Rosa. Yeah, outside of Baker and Rosa.
Okay.
that match, they just came out
That match
and just
was great.
went 100 miles an hour, beating the absolute shit out of each other. You had Hayter dropping the chops. You had Shida not holding back on the forearms. You had the lariats where Hayter was trying to take off her head. Like this just got me into the match, and they totally overachieved. What did you think about the main event, Josh? You watched it live with us here, and overall thoughts on Holiday Bash.
I thought the main event was great. If it wasn't for the trios match, that would have been my match of the night. The trios match was also great. What I've been liking too with that best of 7 series is that, you know, they're trying to do different stuff with the matches. So this one past week was more a little bit more gimmicky, you know. Yeah. So that's what I liked about it. Brandon Cutler's a fucking idiot, by the way. I don't know what he was thinking, but yeah, I mean, overall the show was great. But I do agree with that Swerve segment. I felt awkward watching that. Like, it was awkward to me. Like, I was like, what's going on? Like, the whole thing with Rick Ross was it came off a little weird because the way he was doing it was like, why the fuck he keeps doing that? And then having Parker Bardot being like Swerve's muscle.
Ew, that was just so lame. Like,
yeah, I didn't mind it, but the problem is that he just looked weak. He looked weak as fuck. That was the problem. That was the big issue with me. And then some other random guy just comes out. That's where I kind of I was like, what's going on now? For me, like, that's where it kind of got like a little more awkward for me, because I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah, I think it's Graydon Gossman is his name.
He looked like
a baseball player.
Oh, he looked like I don't know. He looked like a steroid up Shannon Moore.
I thought he looked like a steroid up Darren Drozdov. If Darren
he looked like, you know, he looked like too. I was like, I mentioned it. You ever see that movie? Remember Double Dragons? Yo, you remember Double Dragons? The big dude from Double Dragon? That's what he looked like.
Yes, that too. That's true. That is true. The only thing that makes this work for me is that, yes, every rapper that's like Swerve has bodyguards that look exactly like Parker Bardot and that other guy.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You're right.
Has body. So if they were just like bodyguards and his muscle and not like required to wrestle a lot, then I'm fine with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I even said it too, because like when I was watching it, I was like, yo, like maybe like they pair up Parker with Swerve so he could also learn. I think that might be beneficial for Parker as well. It was just like I said, like that whole lay. I mean, the cinder block spot was cool. Like, I thought that part was cool. It just felt, like I said, it just felt awkward. The whole thing just felt awkward.
You know,
I mean, hopefully shit changes from here. Hopefully something goes about it. But I was like, I'll tell you this much though. I think it kind of shows. I think Swerve is probably in a better position than he would have been with Hit Row right now.
Yeah, I mean, it shows that they are really investing in him and are going to give him like a group, going to give this feud time to develop. And we know with AEW feuds, this feud's probably going to go on for like 3 to 4 months. So
right. But you know what's so funny? The whole thing with Swerve, I feel like when he has to do something, he doesn't commit all the way. So that's why it leaves us like, okay, so are you going to steal anything? Are you just going to stand there? Like, he doesn't commit like fully, like, okay, you're like, yeah, watch. And he just stands there. But then it's quiet, like it's dead, like it's like very awkward. He doesn't really commit to the whole role. Like, I feel like he'd be missing his cues or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, and it's not just right it's not in AEW. I feel like he was doing that also when he was on NXT sometimes. I feel like he would miss his cues of when he's supposed to deliver something, and we're supposed to be impacted and feel something, but then we don't feel it because you didn't deliver the whole thing. So I feel like you got to go and practice more and be more in character mode. I don't know. Have him sit with someone and like
Swerve,
figure it out.
I think Swerve was trying to be like one of those leaders where, you know, all his goons are the ones that are doing something and he's just sitting back and watching. That's how it came off. That's how it came off to me. But at the same time, I think Swerve is better than that. I think he could contribute a lot more than, you know, what he's worth. So That's just my opinion on it, and hopefully that this is a situation where he's gonna have to carry these two guys no matter what. So he's in a situation where he's gonna have to do that.
Yeah, he is going to have to carry them. They're going to have to improve under him. And the big stigma around Parker Boudreaux is that it took him too long to improve, and that's why he got released from WWE. So it remains to be seen if putting him with Swerve is going to help him. But it does. I will agree with what Jimmy said on AE Ramble, that it kind of defined this feud down. This feud felt like an upper mid-card feud where the winner was going to get to the main event, and now it just feels like a mid-card feud because of these two guys being associated with it.
I could say that. I don't know. I guess it's a little bit different for me because I never really saw it that way. I never really saw like their feud going to that aspect of like, oh yeah, they're gonna get like a main event spot or something. That's just me personally. But I don't know. I guess I'm just in the mode of wait and see. I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I could do at this point. I can't really. I don't want to say, hey, I want these guys to fail, but it's interesting. Regardless, I think it's interesting because, like I said, these two guys could benefit from working with Swerve, and if Swerve could benefit from showing he could be an actual leader. So we'll see.
This is true. We got Frantic World that says Parker Boudreaux needs to calm down. He doesn't have to be so intense. He does come off like he drinks a bunch of energy drinks before he comes out.
Yeah. We know that is too, because I've met Parker Boudreaux. Like I met him back in August. He's a really good kid. Like he's really, when I'm speaking to him, I think he does care. He's not one of those who's just, he's trying to find like, hey, I'm big. I think I could just make it here. Like he's kind of like, not remember how like Enzo was when Enzo doesn't really love the business. He just found a way of like, hey, I can make money off of it. I think Parker does care. In my opinion, I think he does care, and he's trying to improve. I think that's the biggest difference. So, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. I hope he does well. Like I said, he's a good kid. I hope it works out for him.
Yeah, I hope so, but just wasn't the best. This wasn't the best start, guys.
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. That's why it's like, fuck. I was like, fuck.
None whatsoever.
Let's move on to last night's Rampage. Rampage had their Holiday Bash edition. The show featured the $30,000 Three Kings of Christmas Trios Battle Royale, which was a fucking mess as well to begin with. But it did develop into a fun matchup with AR Fox and Top Flight being surprising winners after last eliminating the Blackpool Combat Club after Hangman Adam Page interfered to try to get his hands on Jon Moxley, and Claudio Castagnoli wasn't able to overwhelm the duo of the Martin brothers. You also had Eddie Kingston trying to basically call out House of Black before Malachi Black questioned Ortiz's loyalty to Kingston, and the two men had to make a discussion afterwards. And you also had Jade Cargill beat Vert Vixen to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. To defend the AEW TBS Championship, excuse me. Vert Vixen, one of our former guests.
I was literally about to correct you.
Yeah, I had to correct myself. AEW TBS Championship. Shouts out to Vert Vixen, who's been on the show before. And in the main event, you had Triple J, as they're being referred to, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal defeating Daddy Ass Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens to set up an AEW World Tag Team Championship matchup in the future. This was a show. This was a show. You had the trios battle royale that was entertaining and developed some things. I do like how the AEW battle royals kind of set up a bunch of matches and feud, but this was more or less just a show.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything else for us to say. We can move on.
I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We got the Negro Bucks. shout out to Vert Vixen. It's okay. It's totally fine.
I mean, I'm actually glad these guys won that battle royal match.
Me too.
Something a little bit different. That's just, I don't know. I guess somebody dying at the moment. But yeah, I thought it was great because the guys have been doing great. Top Flight is back together again for like the 5th time.
Oh
AR Fox, he's been great. So I was glad they won.
Yeah, I just hope that Top Flight can stay healthy. Stay healthy. Please stay healthy.
Well, mostly the brother. It's not Dante. It's mostly the other guy.
Well, he's been hurt before too. So
I was like,
No,
Dante,
he's been hurt too, but like
Dante got like hurt me on the top of his forehead because he keep like had a trouble, son. Like
no, but compared to his brother, Darius gets hurt a lot. Darius gets hurt he gets hurt a lot.
Okay.
This is true. This is true. He does get hurt a little often. I'm just hoping Top Flight can stay healthy, but I'm happy for them getting the win here, and it kind of sets them up as maybe challengers for the winner of the best of 7 in the future. So there's a lot of things that they can develop from there. But honestly, I said it on AE Ramble, I'll say it here. I would have preferred Top Flight to join Swerve in a group than Parker Boudreaux and roided up Darren Drozdov. So just me.
I actually kind of agree with that, because Dante does need some cleanup with his like mic skills and him trying to develop a character. I think he does need to develop it with that. So I think that would have been more interesting.
Plus, you got the history with AR Fox and Swerve. It just would have made sense to me.
That does make
We got here in the live chat somebody dying at the moment saying Dolores talking about the horns in the background. I love it. I did see they did show a commercial for a brand new Dynamite with a new Dynamite logo. This has been talked about for a number of weeks. We talked about it last week. AEW is planning on basically redoing their graphics, which is going to be their first real graphic overhaul of the company since the beginning. Like literally they're the newest show around, but they have the oldest kind of graphics to it because everything like NXT just got a re-up this year. You had Raw recently, SmackDown got a new song. So like everybody has had like different changes. AEW has kind of basically stayed the same since 2019.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Like the studio, right? They wanted like new stuff, right? They want new stuff.
Yeah. So, oh man, EBB saying pretty sure that ambulance in the background is heading to Darius's house again.
Oh,
that's
shit.
so mean. Y'all are wrong. Let's move on to SmackDown. SmackDown had the main event, holiday edition of SmackDown, taped in Chicago last week, ending with the holiday bash of their own, with Braun Strowman and Ricochet beating Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci in a fun Miracle on 34th Street fight that also featured the New Day as Nutcrackers. You also had Sami Zayn cutting a very passionate promo about Kevin Owens being the black cloud over his head after he's found family, loyalty, and respect from the bloodline, and he said he's going to take out Owens next week when he faces him and John Cena with Roman Reigns. We then saw the bloodlines, the Usos, defeating Hit Row to retain the undisputed WWE tag team titles. Also, another big win for Raquel Rodriguez with a bad arm, winning a 7-woman gauntlet to face Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship next week on the December 30th SmackDown. And then you had Bray Wyatt basically being possessed by the Fiend before attacking a cameraman and applying the mandible claw as the officials had to pull the cameraman away, and Bray was lost in this weird trance. So further developing of the story, and he was very happy that he said, you see, I'm not Uncle Howdy, and then he immediately got possessed. Any highlights or things you want to talk about from last night's SmackDown, Miss Krssi Love?
No, not really. You said it all, friend. Nothing really to talk about. It was recorded.
She's like, yeah, it was another.
Okay.
This was I said it on last night on the review on Sportskeeda. I was like, there was 3 hours of wrestling on. It was shows, holiday shows, a lot of holiday stuff. Saw that. That was great.
Shows,
cool.
Yep. Holiday shows.
Holiday shows. Taped holiday shows.
Like you've seen Braun Strowman in a Miracle on 34th Street. Right.
I absolutely I absolutely hated that 7-woman gauntlet. Absolutely hated it. I've seen it way too many times. It ended well with Raquel having a good match with Liv Morgan, and then they totally shitted on it with having Shayna Baszler, your number 2 babyface in the division, come out and look like a fucking dope after she pulled off the arm of the one-armed woman, attacked her arm, she started posing for the fans, and then she gets rolled up like a fucking dope.
The way they treating Shayna Baszler is not cool at all, son. Not at all.
Awful WWE. Get it
Blasphemy.
together, WWE.
Yeah.
I just hope. Speaking of WWE getting it together, Raw this week was actually good. They did 1.705 million viewers, which is way up from the last couple of weeks. The show featured, and the reason why it was good was probably because the Bloodline was in your city as they were attacking everyone, attacking various stars throughout the show to send a message to Kevin Owens, like Mustafa Ali, Andre Chase, Elias, and the OC. This led to the main event where Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins defeated the Usos, the champions, the Usos. That's why it took me a minute to remember that. I was like, oh shit, they did. They defeated the Usos in a very good main event with Kevin Owens getting the win. You also had Sami Zayn defeating AJ Styles in a one-on-one match that was very good with the help of Solo Sikoa. We also had Alexa Bliss once again being possessed by Bray Wyatt as she knocked out Bianca Belair with the vase. You had the Street Profits getting a win over the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest in a fun opener. Post-match, Rhea Ripley challenged Akira Tozawa, who got involved, and Ripley then beat Akira.
Wow,
Akira
yo.
A
ragdoll. Poor Tower.
I was so happy to see
great,
this.
Though.
This was so random.
Yeah, me too. This was great though. Like I was like, you should do this more often, guys. Like, but then my husband was like, so girls and guys can fight. I was like, well, they train together. He was like, but look at her and look at him. That's not fair. I was like, it's wrestling.
He was
friend.
like, it's not fair for the guy in this one. We also had the highly anticipated first one-on-one match between Bayley and Becky Lynch in 4 years, with Bayley pulling off the win in yet another very good match on this episode of Monday Night Raw. And then you had Bronson Reed not listening to me. Jonah not listening to me. I told you, don't come back. I told you, stay where you were. I said, I know the money gonna be good, but if you want good booking, stay where you are. But the money calls you. Money can be convincing, ladies and gentlemen. I understand this. So he made his WWE return.
It keeps calling me.
He made his WWE return, helping The Miz to defeat Dexter Lumis in a winner-takes-all ladder match, which felt like this is going to continue this fucking feud that started in August. It started in fucking August. What are we doing?
Can I just say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
It just seems like The Miz gets everyone to be his like right person all the time. Like he always gets another person that has to be like his a partner or something. I don't know if that's The Miz's like forte now. Like I don't know if he likes that. Like it started off with Ciampa, then it was who else was it? Or someone before that.
Well, it was Logan Paul.
He keeps getting all the NXT guys to be like his.
I think you're on delay a little bit, Krssi, but it was Logan Paul, then Tommaso Ciampa, and then now it's Bronson Reed. And anytime you have to play the Miz's lapdog, you want to get as far away from it as possible.
Yeah.
That's not the way to debut somebody. It came out that triple from Fightful Select. Krssi Love has to reboot the computer here. It came out from Fightful Select that Triple H viewed Bronson Reed as a priority hire, similar to Bray Wyatt as well as Karrion Kross. And Josh, I think anyone in their mama would agree, Karrion Kross, at least, we won't say that he's been tearing up the WWE since he came back, but his debuting in a segment where he attacked Drew McIntyre, while Roman Reigns and the Bloodline is in the ring, that was good. Everything else since then hasn't been as good, but that was at least good. Then you had Bray Wyatt with the best return that we saw in WWE. People would argue that it's up there with Stone Cold having his first match in 19 years and Cody Rhodes returning after 7 years. So Bray Wyatt had an excellent return. I would say out of all three of those guys that's been quote unquote Triple H priority hires, Bronson Reed had by far the worst return.
Yeah, by far the worst return. And then on your point to Bray Wyatt, he's been back, 2-3 months? Hasn't even wrestled a match yet. And, I don't know, man. When I saw him, I was surprised, but then, the crowd was dead.
No reaction.
He had no reaction, which I felt bad about. Yeah, but the introduction is just like, wait, so you just literally just replaced him with Ciampa? Like, this is what's this about? What was the point of going back? Which, again, if you're, to me, if you go back to a company, right, and if your only defense is, they're getting more money, which I did say on Dynamite when we spoke about, like, what are our thoughts on him going back? I was like, hey, he made his decision. I'm not gonna be mad about it. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad he made the decision because when he got released, he was in a tough position himself. He couldn't work for months because he had to get his visa straight. So he was in a period where he was like, oh shit, I'm about to make no money. So now he's in a situation where he's making, he got offered a probably bigger deal than New Japan would have offered. So in that aspect, I mean, that's fine. Yeah. But my thing is, like, if that's what you're gonna defend it on, I mean, probably doesn't mean a good thing for his WWE run. That's all I'm gonna say when it comes to that. That's unfortunate because I think he's good. I think he's a great heel. And I hope, I'm gonna have low expectations for it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna oversell it. A lot of people like to oversell shit.
Yeah.
A lot of these returns, these quote unquote returns, haven't lived up to anything. Like, it really hasn't. So I mean, he did all the, he did all these signings back, but it's like, people criticized, Tony Khan for all these signings, right? But then if you look at it, Triple H fucking rehired a lot more people than probably Khan did throughout the whole year in a matter of months than throughout the whole year. So, I mean, but, like I've always said, is people not giving the same energy when it comes to Triple H.
Oh no! I've been on that horse for what feels like an eternity now. Of just saying, keeping that same energy, the same energy people try to give to Tony Khan, being like, "Oh no, you gotta get this together, gotta get it." I'm gonna keep that same energy with Triple H. He's only been in power for a few months. It's been 6 months now, y'all. I'm sorry. After 6 months. Some of these stuff, he's improved on WWE a lot, but it's just this storyline is kind of like always the fucking dud of Raw.
His butt is complete butt because Gargano shouldn't be in these fucking segments. Gargano should be wrestling. That's the problem. Gargano should be wrestling, and I get that he's getting TV time, but it's like he's fucking Johnny Wrestling. Like, why is he getting all these goddamn segments? You know what I mean? Like. And I get it. This is what he wants.
He's playing Johnny Wrestling. He's playing insert goofy babyface. Goofy babyface, sarcastic babyface.
Right? Because like the whole thing is that I didn't mind the Loomis stuff at the beginning, but then it just started dragging after that. I was like, what the fuck? Like, why are we still doing this? There's no fucking angle. What's the angle to this? Like, what's the fucking purpose? Loomis got hired. Like, he got his contract. What's the point after this?
Exactly. Why are we still here? Why are we still just kicking the can down the road for no fucking reason at all? It seems. If there's somebody in the chat that likes Dexter Loomis versus The Miz who's watching this on demand, let us know in the comments down below. Let us know in the live chat because y'all can tell me what y'all enjoy about this because I literally had to take the week off from reviewing Raw on Patreon this week. because I was like, nah, I don't really want to talk. I was like, the episode was good, but I don't want to talk about this match. NXT, this week they did 705,000 viewers, highest viewership since October for the show. The show featured Carmelo Hayes beating Axiom in a blast of an opener. Those two guys, two of the best workers on the NXT roster, delivering there. You also had New Day defeating Briggs and Jensen to retain the NXT Tag Team Championships in another good matchup for the New Day on the NXT brand. And you had my boy Grayson Waller going out there and pulling up Bret Hart on dumbass Braun Breakers Goldberg. After calling him out the entire night, Braun Breaker showed up at the end of the show. He went to spear Grayson Waller. He speared him, and Grayson Waller was the first man up, as he revealed he was wearing a bulletproof vest and had a plate.
This is the person that should be overrated. Sorry.
No, Grayson Waller, the most improved.
Overrated.
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 Waller.
Sorry, I don't see it. Matter of fact, no, Braun Breaker is also overrated. I don't like neither one of them, to be honest. I hate them both.
Shit.
Both of them most improved.
Both of them.
And y'all know I don't
Overrated,
even like NXT
for sure.
that much, but those are two of the gems of NXT right there.
Is it really?
Yes.
Whatever.
Breaker
Breaker
has improved. Breaker has improved.
In the ring, especially, yeah.
Right. Breaker has improved, but it's the problem. You know what's the problem? Right? And I mean this in all, and we all do respect in this. But Romeo tends to oversell that, man, to the point that I'm like, I don't want to watch his fucking matches. I don't want to watch this shit. Okay, I get it. He had a good match with Tyler Bate. I get it. But you telling me 20 times to watch it in 4 days, in the span of 4 days, it's not going to make me watch it. It's not going to do it. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I will say that was one of his best matches. I say his best match of the year, Braun Breaker, was the Ilya Dragunov JD McDonough match at Halloween Havoc. So a lot of his best matches have been with some of the best workers in NXT. To be fair, there he was our 2021 Rookie of the Year, though. I went back and watched that. So spoiler alert for what we're about to give with the next round of awards. But let's talk real quick. Impact on Access TV this week. They had Bully Ray once again being the biggest dick in the world, once again outsmarting Josh Alexander.
Bully Ray such love out here in these streets, son. Like, come on. Oh God.
He once again outsmarted Josh Alexander and getting help from John Skyler and Hotch to zip tie the Impact World Champion to the ropes before beating him down and beating down Tommy Dreamer right in front of him. And this all sets up a Full Metal Mayhem tables, ladders, and chairs main event for Bully Ray versus Josh Alexander at Hard to Kill. You also had Mickie James and Jordynne Grace. They teamed up ahead of Hard to Kill when they go against each other for the Knockouts World Championship, and they beat Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans in a good main event. Post-match, Mickie James kicked Jordynne Grace right in the mouth after she tagged herself in at the finish because she believes Mickie James is kind of insecure and believes Jordynne Grace feels that Mickie is done and that she's going to defeat her and end her career coming up at Hard to Kill. So I'm liking how both of those top programs in Impact Wrestling are developing as they head into Hard to Kill. You also had Scott D'Amore sending Josh Alexander and Bully Ray home until Hard to Kill because of how things have heated up between those two. So some good stuff going on Impact on Access TV this week. But let's get back to the awards. Let's get back into it. First up, I'm going to start off. I'm going to switch it up from what I had in the order here because I just realized I'm missing one. But we got Best Weekly Show of the Year. Josh, we'll start with you.
Best Weekly Show. I'll go with Dynamite.
You're going with Dynamite. Miss Krssi Love, Best Weekly Show for you.
Dynamite.
Yeah, this is
not Smackdown and NXT.
Damn, Krssi.
Sorry.
Just had to keep it
I said
real.
it
Had to keep
out loud.
you,
heard
you
me?
said that. You said that with your chest. You said that with your chest, sister. I appreciate it though.
I
You kept
mean,
it real.
You're right.
But we're going with the 2022 best weekly show of the year with 53% of the vote. Yes, it is once again for 2019, 2020, 2020. No, actually 2020, 2021, and now 3 straight years. AEW Dynamite, our best weekly show. Past winners, WWE NXT has also won this award, but it's been pretty much NXT in the beginning of our run here on the award show, and now it's been the AEW Dynamite run, by far the best weekly show of 2022. I think we all had that there, so there's no reason to continue on there. Let's move on into the worst booking decision of 2022. Josh, you want to start us off?
Best booking?
Worst booking decision of 2022.
Phew, worst booking decision. I'm gonna go with the theory cash-in. I'm gonna go with the theory cash-in. I'm gonna go with that. Because if you really break it down, if you really break down the whole fucking situation, right? The match was an open challenge match, for one. The match never officially started. Lashley beats up Seth Rollins, right? So technically the match never started. Then Theory comes out. He decides to cash in on an open challenge match that didn't even start, right? He cashes in. He cashes in his money in the bank, right? Remind you, Seth Rollins kicked out like 5 or 6 times after Theory started doing his moves, right? Yes. And usually when you get a cash in, somebody gets knocked out, and then 1, 2, 3, right? After a beatdown. Seth Rollins got beat down by Lashley, yet kicks out 5, 6 times. Then something happens on the outside of the ring. Theory gets knocked out. They're doing the countdown, right? Theory comes back into the ring, gets hit, gets curve stomped, gets pinned, loses the fucking briefcase. Loses a fucking briefcase. And then the next week after, that's when you decide to revamp his character to be this fucking what do you call that?
I guess he's more confident now. He's
like more attitude,
serious.
like a more serious attitude. Yeah. It's like, so you're telling me that you couldn't even do this while he was Money in the Bank, like he was the Money in the Bank holder, that would have taken him more seriously. He even could have still had the United States title while still having a briefcase. That would have made them even look better. But instead, you kind of did it ass backwards to the point that the guy lost the briefcase. You could have given it to somebody else. Yep. Made him lose the briefcase to a fucking mid-card title. Mid-card title. He lost the briefcase to a mid-card title.
Yep, he did. He did. You broke it down superbly how bad that was. When there was better options, like, him actually cashing in at what was it, Clash at the Castle, and then you could have put the title there on the WWE title on Drew McIntyre. That could have been your way to split the titles like all the fans want so badly. You're all like, oh yeah, they're gonna split the titles before WrestleMania. I doubt it now, because we haven't seen any indication of that. When the best opportunity, they missed out on it, and then they totally fucked it up. Krssi Love, your worst booking decision of 2022. Same
thing. I agree totally. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm a little delayed, but I agree. Once Josh said the same thing, I was repeating it too, and it's like it was just the most worst thing that they could have ever done. It was trash. Like, and then you make him cash in for like a mid-card title. You had him go to NXT. It was just too much back. It was dumb. I really feel like they could have done so much better for him to lose and try to get it against Roman Reigns, but it was just dumb. Whatever.
Yeah, even with that, a lot of fans too, right? And this is where I was discrediting a lot of fans, right? Because when I went on Instagram that night, like I shitted on the whole segment, right? So people were trying to say like, oh yeah, he should have he would have been better off cashing it on the NXT title. And I'm like, no, because you're gonna have him go back to NXT for what, a fucking third time to win the title that who gives a fuck at this point? Like, just leave it on Breaker, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like he would have looked even better if he just cashes it on Roman Reigns and then fucking loses. Like that would have been a better benefit at least to that. But it's like, what? People were coming up with like all these ass backwards suggestions. It's like, no, like he was better off just losing it to Roman Reigns. That's the whole purpose of the Money in the Bank.
Yes, that's
trying to win the main title. And if he would have lost to Roman Reigns, that still would have made them look at least decent. That would have made them look decent. Because at least I was like, hey, there's nothing wrong losing to Roman Reigns.
That's what the whole confidence
for
thing
almost
comes
1,000
in
days. Yeah, he's been champion for almost 1,000 days and shit. So I'm like, that would have been a problem.
It would be totally fine jobbing to Roman Reigns.
So I was like, come on.
He would have been totally fine jobbing to him. Yes. Yep.
I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, the whole thing is just fucking stupid. And I like Theory. That's the thing. I like Austin Theory. It's just the way they've been using him is like they're trying to figure out how to use him. And that's the problem when people compare him to like Cena. With Cena, right, he had like the freaking prototype gimmick, basically when he faced Kurt Angle, and then he went to rapping John Cena and basically stood the same.
Yeah.
He's basically stood the same guy ever since. And with Theory, I feel like they're trying to try these different things because even when he started in NXT, he wasn't this goofy. He wasn't this goofball. He wasn't this goofy guy. And then they tend to like, I think this is already like the third or fourth character change that he's had. It's like,
yeah. When he first came to NXT, he was more like the upstart kind of. That's when I got the Randy Orton vibes to him. Yeah. That when he got to the main roster, they kind of kept him on that type of route. Then he went to NXT and did the Wade character where he played the meathead, and he did that so well. They just were like, "Oh, let's make an updated version of the meathead who comes out with the selfie can." And that was just, you went too far into that fucking direction, and it did not bode well for him overall, in my opinion.
And it didn't because they didn't take him seriously where people are trying to defend him. So like the whole thing with the Elimination Chamber, right? Remember how years back, the Elimination Chamber, if you were like the last two, that they made it a big deal. Remember Carlito was like the last one in the ring against the champion? They made it a big deal. Like, oh, he was last man standing against the champion, right?
Yeah.
Theory was the last one standing with Brock Lesnar, and yet nobody gives a fuck about it. But yeah, people trying to fall back on that. Oh, he was the last one standing, but fucking he got wrecked. He got fucking F5 off the top of the damn pod. Like there was nothing good came out of that. Nothing good came out of that. So it was like you can't really even use that argument.
Like they'll try though. They always
they'll try, but it'll be. They'll lose every single time they try. So it's like you can't convince me that was a good thing because it's like, yeah, he was second to last, but he got his ass whooped. Like nothing happened. He got his ass whooped. It wasn't Kofi. Kofi fucking benefited from that because of that performance. He won the title. He ended up winning at WrestleMania. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference, and I don't think a lot of people get that. And you can get over from losing. Like we talked about the Acclaim earlier in the show, with how they got over at All Out. So you can get over in the loss. It was just so badly done. But that is our kind of choices for the worst booking decision of 2022. I agree with Josh. I think it's by far Theory's cash in, because that was from someone that if it was Vince McMahon that done it, I would have been fine with it. I would have just been, yeah, it's a bad booking decision, but it's kind of what Vince McMahon would do.
It's a fucking Vince booking. It's a Vince McMahon booking, and even that period of time, Triple H was doing Vince McMahon bookings, which got scary. It gets scary when I see that. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I know he's better than this.
Safet says Austin Theory cash-in sucks. We also got Negro Buck who says I got two, the Austin Theory cash-in, and Tony Khan failing to capitalize on all the momentum that FTR had, but the Theory cash-in was definitely worse.
I can't really. That's like so far part of the margin though. Like I can't really say that one. I can't really agree with that one.
Well, you'd be surprised with
No, I get it.
Yeah. I do get that point.
I get
that
it.
was why it was one of the choices here on the community tab as well as on Facebook.
But it's just a margin when it comes to that. It's like, no, there's a big difference when it comes to that, at least in my opinion.
Thank you. One of the other things I voted on, the shitty booking of Damage Control, was
you see, that's closer. That's closer to the theory thing. That's closer because they had all this momentum, SummerSlam. And this was kind of like the stepping stone for Triple H, remind you, for his like control. And this was the first thing where they're like, oh, Vince is against women's stables. Oh no, you know what? I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna make a women's stable. And
everybody was hyped. Everybody ate that shit up.
They fucking ate it up. And I said, remember in the review show, I was like, yo, them not getting a reaction kind of fucking scares me because I think it's gonna impact their booking, which I'm not saying it did, but their booking has been shit since. You could say, hey, they got the tag titles, but look at the way that it happened. Look at the way they got the tag titles. It was shit.
If anyone wants to support Damage Control's push by saying, well, at least they're tag team champions, well, we got different standards with what's considered a good push and a bad push, and having those damn tag team titles where they have defined them down constantly this year, that's not what I would call good book.
Exactly, yeah, it's not. And even like, you know, like that tag tournament, they should have won it, and fucking Raquel and Aaliyah win it, and then 2 weeks later they end up winning the titles back. They end up winning the titles, and then the freaking week of Crown Jewel, they lost the titles just to win it back less than a week later. What was the point of that? Like, what was the point?
I don't understand it. But we got to say what the fans voted on finally here. The worst booking decision of 2022. 17% coming as the second runner-up is Where's Miro? Is the lack of Miro on AEW television. Number 2, very close here with 19% of the vote. Austin Theory, Money in the Bank, Cash In Fail is our first runner-up. And number 1 is the AEW not capitalizing on FTR's momentum is voted the 2022 worst booking decision of the year. Your thoughts, Josh?
That's some bull. This shit was rigged. Like, who voted for that?
It was rigged.
Like, bro, what? Like, you serious? Yeah, I don't. Yo, that's. I mean, some of the votes I gotten wrong, but it's like that one is like, come on, really? I'm like,
hey, we take the votes. All we do is read it here, but I don't know about this one. I would have had this in my top 5 at least for this year. I do.
Top 5 is fair.
It is egregious. It definitely is egregious that FTR's momentum was not capitalized in the right way this year. They could have done so much this year in AEW, and it just felt like a lot of their success was outside of AEW throughout 2022. And even despite that, they still had a great 2022. So that's why I wouldn't have this as my top choice, but we just go by what the fans vote. 21%. Very close race, though. Very close race between that and number 2.
Yeah, it's just bullshit, but I'll get past it.
Josh is not having it. Let's move on to our next awards we got here coming up. We are going to the biggest box office draw of 2022. Josh, who you got?
Roman Reigns. I mean, I think that one's easy. That's very, very easy. I'll go with Roman Reigns. I mean, you know, can't really top what he's been doing, and you know, when he shows up on the show, even when he doesn't wrestle, people tune in. So I gotta go with Roman Reigns. I gotta go with Tribal Chief.
That makes sense. Krssi Love,
can you hear me? Am I delayed? Yes. Am I better?
You're good. You're good to go.
Much better. I had to move to my son's room, as you can see. Something going on near the Christmas tree is fucking it all up.
Oh no, the Christmas tree's fucking the shit up. Damn.
Yeah, I think it's the Christmas tree and all the bull. Anywho, but you see what Miles, so it's fine. What was the question, friend?
So you only things you miss is the worst booking decision of 2022 was
Austin.
No, it was actually well, we all voted for Austin Theory, but the fans voted on AEW not capitalizing on FTR momentum.
What?
Exactly. Exactly.
The fuck?
Your reaction is great.
Yo, which, like I said, I agree with Sid that it should be top 5, at least top 5, maybe even 6. Like, we break it down, but that's like, come on, really? That compared to like what WWE's done? Yeah, it's like what?
And this is that was another kind of new award for us. We had most disgusting promotional tactic before as an award, but this is the first time we did worst booking decision, and that was the winner. But now we got biggest.
That's I'm sorry. That particular one demands a recount. I'm sorry. You guys all. That's no. I'm so sorry. That one.
Yeah,
that one is horrible.
Like I said, I
don't agree with that one. That's
despite
just
them not really doing as much as they
FTR
should have in
was
AEW.
Like 500 million belts. They've been everywhere just because they don't need. I'm not gonna. You're not gonna do this to me. It's Christmas. You're not doing this to me. You know. I'm not doing this. Nope. I'm not doing this.
Krssi Love, who you got as the biggest box office draw of 2022?
Ooh. It would have been CM Punk, but then he messed that shit up.
Yes, he did.
Then Cody got messed up. That would have been a good one too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's really hard to tell right now.
Who's the biggest draw?
I guess Roman.
Yeah, like I don't know why you're trying to like reinvent the wheel again. We said don't do that to yourself. Stop doing that to yourself.
Yeah, we said. I went with Roman.
Go with the person who you think it is, and
Roman. Right. Because the other guys, CM Punk really fucked up the bag with that one, because this would have been like
it would have been close.
It would have been
very close.
Yeah,
because he was on that streak of main eventing all those $1 million gate shows for AEW, and they continued all of their pay-per-views this year, gained $1 million, and he would have been a part of all of that. If he doesn't get injured in LA, he would have had that match with Tanahashi, and he would have been at the top of the Forbidden Door card. So that would have been another $1 million gate for him. He would have been at the top of the card. He was at the top of the card for All Out. And then he would have been at the top of the card for Full Gear. He would have had a third match with MJF this year. He messed up a lot.
Yeah, he did. Messed up the bag real good.
But let's reveal our 2022 biggest box office draw of the year. I mean, it's no surprise, ladies and gentlemen. Is it really a surprise? It's the Tribal Chief, the head of the table, Roman Reigns, with 53% of the vote. Coming in at number 2 was Jon Moxley, actually.
Oh, that's a good one. Jon Moxley is a good one. Yeah, damn.
Biggest box office draw of 2022 there. Roman Reigns, he was a part of the big WrestleMania, all the success that WrestleMania got, the most drawn, most viewed WrestleMania of all time this year. He was at the head of that. He was at the head of Royal Rumble that did huge numbers despite it being an awful fucking show. You also had him being at the top of the card of all these big shows for WWE as their ticket sales, their live gates were improving, ratings was improving. Every time Roman Reigns was on the show, only 15 televised matches in 2022. It always mattered. It was important. I guess that's why you chose him too, right, Josh?
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I just gotta give it to the Tribal Chief. I mean, that's just what it is.
Gotta give the devil its due when it's deserved, and Roman Reigns deserves to be the 2022 biggest box office draw. Now we got best storyline of 2022. This is also a new award for us. We usually only give it to the best worst feud of the year, but we decided to switch it up and make it focus on a storyline. Maybe not specifically a feud, maybe an overarching storyline. There was like Naito's kind of journey of coming out of the top star in New Japan, or Will Ospreay establishing the IWGP US Championship. Maybe it was the run of Josh Alexander as Impact World Champion, Speedball's X Division run, or I'm kind of saying kind of the niche ones, but WWE, AEW had major ones throughout the year. Krssi Love, best storyline of the year.
The Bloodline.
The Bloodline overall?
Bloodline overall.
All right. And Josh, who you got?
Best storyline. Damn, that's a good one. Best storyline.
That's been consistent. I think that might be one of them. I don't know what else to say.
No, that's a good choice. Bloodline.
I still want to say maybe. Actually, no, I'm out. It's like I want to say Punk and MJF, but if we're going with consistency, maybe Bloodline. Because the thing is with the Bloodline, I don't know. It's like more so of a storyline. It's more like their arc that they're just doing different things. So they've just been consistent. That's how I look at it. People look at it differently. No, fuck it. I'll go with the Bloodline.
Yeah, like I said, I think that's a good choice. Fair enough. I won't go with the Bloodline because I'm sorry. The first half of this year, it wasn't very interesting. What was very interesting is Sami Zayn. And that's why Sami Zayn of the Bloodline is my storyline of the year.
Okay,
see, I think that's why I actually was like thinking like that was it was more so that.
Yeah, that's actually better. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta specify. I can't say it's the overarching Bloodline saga because this started in 2020 and it had its low points, and the low point kind of got recovered by Sami Zayn. So,
but then also with the thing with the Bloodline too is that when I noticed there was a stat that I noticed right where they're supposed to be come off as this dominant team, and the Usos lose a lot for a team.
Non-title matches, yeah.
They lose a lot, and I didn't notice that. I was like, so maybe they're not as
the best team. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That's just how I take it.
Yeah, for sure.
True. It's true. But we got a couple of people with their own choices in the live chat. We got Ace who says the Bloodline. We also got Frantic World who says Punk and MJF, which is a good choice as well.
Yeah, that's a good one,
We got Negro Buck who says got to give it to Sami Zayn and the Bloodline. Close second could have been MJF and CM Punk. They still have an opportunity, of course, to win Feud of the Year. Like I said, we're still going to do Feud of the Year, but best storyline of the year with 76% of the vote. Sami Zayn, the honorary Uso of the Bloodline, is the best storyline of 2022. No question. I in my opinion, I think this the landslide kind of supports that. Well deserved of Sami Zayn.
Well deserved for him. Yeah, he needs this is a good shine for Sami, especially for not being utilized for so long. This has been a good year for him.
Indeed. Now we got Rookie of the Year. I'll start it off because I stood up here December 18th, 2021, and I said. After one televised match, I was like, he was my Rookie of the Year of 2021. But guess what? What I said on December 18th, 2021, I said, back to back, baby. Back to back, baby. Rookie of the Year is that boy Hook. Hook, Rookie of the Year.
Tyler?
Who you got, Krssi? Yes, Tyler.
Tyler.
Hook. For his friends. Hook.
He had a match with Action Bronson, who the person that does his theme that he took the thing his intro music with. That's great. Rookie.
Beautiful.
He has to win. If he doesn't win, this is
I mean, it was a very close. It was a three-headed race. I will say for Rookie of the Year with two people from WWE, which I will tell you the percentage results. Josh, who was your Rookie of the Year?
My Rookie of the Year, I'll go with Hook. Fuck it.
He's like, nah, I can't front. It is Hook. Yes, let's go to the envelope. All right, we have the percentages here of this It was a three-headed race for the winner of the Rookie of the Year this year for 2022. You have it as the second runner-up. You had Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker got 10% of the vote. He won Rookie of the Year last year. You had in second place with 40% of the vote, Logan Paul. Logan Paul getting second place, first runner-up for Rookie of the Year. And number one, yes, is that boy Hook! Hook, Rookie of the Year. Hook debuted last December in AEW and has had a meteoric rise in popularity, as well as winning the FTW championship, despite not being used as frequent as I would like. Hook has always delivered whenever he's been and always getting big reactions. So I think it's well deserved Hook for the win there. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We move on. Well, to go over a little of the history, because I haven't for the last couple of these. Sorry about that. Biggest box office draw in the past. We've given this award to Chris Jericho, as well as Kenny Omega has won this award twice in 2018 and 2020. And then last year's biggest box office draw was CM Punk. And then as far as Rookie of the Year, we have had Ronda Rousey on the same year she won Most Overrated. She won Rookie of the Year. I'll never forget that and never forgive y'all for that. 2019 Rookie of the Year. I don't think we named one. There wasn't a lot of options, I guess. And in that year, 2020 was Pat McAfee, and 2021 was Braun Breaker. Now we got best on the mic. Who delivered the best promos of 2022 in the past? 2018 best on the mic. We gave this award to Samoa Joe. 2019, we gave this award to Chris Jericho. We gave this award to Cody Rhodes in 2019. In 2020, we gave this award also to Cody Rhodes. In 2021, we gave this to MJF. Who you got, Krssi?
Fuck it, MJF again.
Like I said, don't work too hard. Just the first thing that comes to your head is usually the right one. I agree. I'm gonna go with MJF as well. I think this is one that would be closer because you know you got so many great talkers in AEW right now. But Josh, who you got?
MJF hands down. Because if you really break out all the segments that he's done, the CM Punk promo where he talks about like his upbringing. You talk about his promo coming back, where he catered to the fans and then turned heel again right off the bat. His segment with William Regal, which I think that's the best one.
Best one, far. Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, you're talking about bangers at the bangers at the bangers when it comes to promo segments. Like, nobody's doing it better. Nobody's doing it better. You could make an argument. You could try to make an argument with Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns kind of been, you know, there hasn't been anything compelling to what he's done compared to MJF and his feuds when it comes to build-ups, when it comes to where he, you know, really hits the heart to those, you know, to like the person that he's facing. Roman Reigns hasn't really done that, in my opinion. So
that's fair.
MJF is an easy pick.
Yeah, I think this is one of the easier ones to predict. I think the only person in WWE that probably should have or could have been in the conversation is Sami Zayn, just for the amount of great promos he's been a part of. He definitely deserved to be in the conversation here. But let's look at the results of this one with 61% of the votes. Another overwhelming winner. Best on the mic for 2022 is MJF. What a great year of fantastic, memorable promos that some of us will never forget ever again, that whether it be against CM Punk in their rivalry, his promos with Wardlow that elevated that feud and elevated Wardlow in the process, all the stuff he's done since his return at All Out, the promo with William Regal. I think that there's been so many entries in our promos of 2022 video that we're going to do based on our nominations, that the nominations have just either been people actually listing out MJF promos, either people cutting against MJF or just straight up MJF cutting the promo, or just people just flat out saying MJF. They don't even care about what the promo. They just said MJF because all 5 would be
right.
him.
That's what I did. I just put people that gave great promo. I couldn't remember the promos, but yeah.
Hey, all I know is that the Sami Zayn Usi promo should be in everybody's best promos of 2022. That's just me. I love that, man.
I forgot about that one. Shit. Dang. That was a great one. I used and then you just saw Roman's face just go, and they almost
all broke character.
They all broke character. I was like, they all did. And I don't even think he probably told him that he was gonna what he was gonna probably say. I think
you could tell.
Such good shit, guys. Yeah,
it was so off the cuff. It's one.
I think the funniest one was Jay's reaction because Jay was the one that's supposed to be serious.
Yes.
And you could see because Roman, he could get away with it because of what he was saying, and he could kind of get away with him laughing.
Yeah,
but the fact that Jay in this whole entire bloodline and whole situation, he was the most serious one because he didn't want Sami there. So for him to laugh, you could see him trying so hard to hold it together, he couldn't.
No, he could barely hold it together. Everyone is feeling Usi in the WWE.
It's either feeling
ever
Usi
since
or
that segment.
Scissor me. It's one of those two things that people are saying.
Absolutely. We got a bunch of people commenting in the live chat here. Keep those comments coming. Super chat donations are very appreciated. This is our final edition of the flagship podcast of 2022. So I want to send us out strong. Negro Buck saying MJF, the undisputed best at promos. Frantic World also saying MJF. We got Negro Buck saying fuck Hook Hajim for the win. And he's saying can't go wrong with Hook. He also chose Logan Paul. Get the fuck out of here. Ace saying Action Andretti for Rookie of the Year. I love how.
See, you should be suspended from the group chat for saying that foolishness.
Well, damn, Krssi.
Logan Paul, my ass.
I love it. I love it though. Love the hype. Now we move on to a big one on our awards here. Tag Team of the Year. Josh, start us out.
Tag Team of the Year. I'm going with FTR.
What about you, Miss Krssi Love? Who you got?
It would FTR, but honorary mention to the Bucks.
The Young Bucks have won this award the past 2 years. I even made the argument that I thought they were going to go on a run where they could win this award until the end of time, but I think that they took a step back. They had the whole brawl out situation, taking months off. They had a not as great of a feud with the Hardy Boys leading up to Double or Nothing, and kind of the Hardy Boys not being, Jeff not being in the best of condition there kind of hurt that dream match feeling. So they had some things working against them this year is what I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen. So I wouldn't go with the Young Bucks this year.
I feel like yeah, man.
It just wasn't their year, unfortunately.
A lot of people were working against it wasn't their year. Yeah, a lot of people were working against them. It was just the devil was very busy this year to say that.
The devil was very busy in wrestling news in general, yes. But yeah, that's okay. I think the Usos make the strong.
Yeah, wrestling.
I think the Usos make the strongest argument to take this from FTR, and they did get a lot of votes, as well as did the Young Bucks as well. But the number one 2022 Tag Team of the Year is FTR. They received 21 out of 26 nominations for the top 5 best matches of the year and 13 first place votes. So FTR killing the game as per usual. No question. The trilogy with the Briscoes. You had a 5-star classic with Aussie Open in New Japan. You had a classic with the Young Bucks on Dynamite. Some people forget their hidden gem with Jon Moxley and CM Punk earlier this year. These guys constantly delivering the goods. Well deserved. Tag Team of the Year, no question. And now we have a new one here. The Tag Team Match of the Year. I named all those great matches with FTR. Usos had a number of fantastic matches. Young Bucks had their crazy matchup with the Lucha Bros in California. Josh, what was your tag team match of the year?
The one that happened recently, Briscoes versus FTR dog collar match at Final Battle.
Yeah, dog collar match.
That is also mine, no question. Double dog collar match. I had the first FTR Briscoes very high on my list up until this one went down, and it was unanimous for us. It's also unanimous with the fans. Voted the best tag team match of the year. FTR Briscoes 3 double dog collar. 38% of the vote there. So very well done there. Now we got another difficult one. If tag team match of the year was difficult, this is going to be even more difficult in my opinion. The women's match of the year. What you got, Krssi?
Already got mine.
You got yours ready, Josh? I don't know if Krssi is frozen. Is she frozen or you can't hear her, or is she on a delay? I think she's muted and
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
No, I'm not muted. I'm here. I'm here. See,
I think she was thinking.
Not nice. This is not fair.
No, you're good. You're good now. You're good now. We hear you now.
I'm going to go women.
Now I can't hear anything.
Yeah, now I can't hear anything. She like froze. I think she was about to go and then got froze. Josh, go ahead.
You said women's match, right? Becky versus Bianca, WrestleMania. I gotta go with that one.
Becky versus Bianca is a good shout for sure. I'm hoping that Krssi Love can get back in here with us. I think she's frozen. She's not having the best luck. Christmas is not in her favor when it comes to this edition of Tru Heel Heat. I think this is like the most trouble she's had with the Wi-Fi in Russia getting involved.
When Santa come by later, tell him to fix your Wi-Fi.
Yo, for real, like Santa, I want some better Wi-Fi for 2022. How about that? We are such assholes. I'm actually gonna go a little different this year. I went with Shuri versus Utami Hayashita from Stardom's Gold Rush. I watched that match and I was totally blown away. I've heard nothing but great things about these two women since their series started. I believe it was last year when they had the 5.5 star classic for Stardom that broke the star rating, both the Meltzer scale, and had a lot of people talking. I was very invested into when they were going to run that back, and they ran it back at one of their bigger shows of the year, and it absolutely delivered. I gave it 4 3/4 stars when I first watched it, and yeah, that's my favorite women's match of the year, and I have to say that was the best women's match of the year for me at the very least. I don't know if Krssi Love is back with us yet, so we got to move on and we got to reveal the winner of the awards. I will highlight a couple of your comments here in a minute before we give the award winners for that one, and to give Krssi Love, because I want to hear Krssi Love, the leader of the women for us here on Tru Heel Heat. We got Negro Buck who says 7-star FTR. Yeah, racking up the awards. Tag team of the year, tag team match of the year. Safet says Briscoes versus FTR. Negro Buck says gotta give tag team match of the year to Briscoes FTR 3, the dog collar match. Negro Buck is also going with Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair at Mania. Ace with a good shot here that got a lot of votes, actually. Jordan Grace versus Masha Slamovich at Bound for Glory got a lot of votes from our fans. And then Negro Buck going with Britt Baker Thunder Rosa, the steel cage match from St. Patrick's Day Slam was also really good. So let's give it for the women's match of the year. Krssi Love has messaged me since the Wi-Fi is abducting her. I guess she is watching us from the Wi-Fi beyond, and she has told me that Becky Lynch and Bianca from WrestleMania 38 is her match of the year, her women's match of the year as well. So let's reveal the winner from the Tru Heels. With 42% of the vote, it is in fact Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch, the 2022 Women's Match of the Year from WrestleMania 38. These two women absolutely stole the show at WrestleMania 38, showing out, having an absolute barn burner. Becky Lynch kicking Bianca Belair in the eye, closing up the eye. You had the great entrances with Bianca coming out with the BIC kind of the drumline band, bringing her out, performing her song. It just felt kind of epic. It felt big time. So I definitely agree that should be on the list. What about you? You voted for it, so I know you're happy to see it also. The fans agreed with you here.
Yeah, I mean, but overall, it was a great match. I mean, when you talk about WrestleMania Night 1, they had how many great matches? They had like 4 freaking great matches night 1. You could even flip flop like when it came to like match of the nights. It was between that. It was between Seth versus Cody. I think that was like 1A, 1B. That's how good it was.
I remember
the weekend.
When we did the review, I said, I don't remember a WrestleMania back-to-back matches being this good in so long. Like, this felt like the best 2 back-to-back matches I've seen out of WrestleMania in quite some time. So I remember it very fondly. And we're here in December, and Bianca and Becky still being talked about. It's one of the greatest women's matches in WrestleMania history, in my opinion.
But also, like that kind of proved to me where Becky's at now. Where it was like, holy shit, now she could carry matches. That was always her weak point.
Yes, it's true.
That was her weak point. But it kind of started with her carrying Liv, and I think the momentum just carried. And then I think that match just showed it. I think it kind of showed full circle, like her overall improvement, which I was like, finally, this is the Becky Lynch I like, not the, and I get, people were they were on her meat, talking about the man and all this shit. But if you think about it, her matches weren't great when she was the man. They weren't great. They were not great matches. And now you kind of see full circle where she became big time Bex, and then she became a member of Daft Punk, and then her matches just got better after that. So I mean, I've been happy to see that,
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good choice.
She's been a member of Daft Punk. I'm done.
Yeah, she come out with those damn like those visors and shit, like
true. Great stuff though. But yes, we go to 2 of our bigger awards here. We're going to talk about the best and worst feud of the year to close off this section of our awards here. And you got the best feud of the year. What was your choice, Josh?
I'm still gonna go with CM Punk and MJF.
I think it happened earlier in the year, and nothing has been as good as CM Punk and MJF. There's been storylines that's been as good, like the Sami Zayn, honorary Uce, and that's the best thing going in wrestling today. But there was nothing like MJF and CM Punk. It was lightning in a bottle. I will never forget it, and that is definitely my choice as well. So let's see what the Tru Heels have voted. And we have here the awards and the percentage here. The best feud of 2022 with 51% of the vote is it is in fact CM Punk versus MJF. They started their feud at Thanksgiving of 2021. We had the first promo exchange in Chicago, where everyone was so enthralled into what was going on. And they had promo after promo that kept delivering some memorable television, whether it's Punk, Will You Be My Valentine promo, whether it was the great match that they had in Chicago the first time where MJF beat him twice in his hometown. You had the great promo by MJF with his villain origin story, then bloodying him in Jacksonville ahead of the pay-per-view match with the entrances with MJF coming out to Cult of Personality and CM Punk coming out to his old ROH thing. Man, this nothing gave me the feels like CM Punk versus MJF this year. What about you, Miss Krssi Love? You agree?
Say that again. I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
I said nothing gave me the feels like CM Punk versus MJF. Definitely my best feud of the year.
Yes, I agree. Once I got back in and I saw what was on the screen, I agree 100%. Damn you, Punk, for messing up all of this shit, because this was great. This was I feel like it had at least like best 3 matches of the year. They could have did like a trilogy. Like, it would have been so good, but he messed it all up. So But I agree with the fans and the voters. Yes, agree.
You're muted.
I thought that was my stuff messed up. I was like, wait,
me
am
too.
I
was
muted? Am I wrong? Like, what happened?
I thought the thing was off. I was like, no, you're muted.
I thought it was me. I was like, oh God, I'm gonna just throw this damn laptop in the garbage. Now it's over. I can't.
No, I just realized that my mic was on my keyboard. That was the issue.
Got it.
That muted me.
I'll just turn the thing down.
Let's move to worst feud of the year. Krssi Love, what was in your opinion, the worst feud of 2022?
Worst feud 2022. Oh, Liv Ronda?
Ooh,
no,
that's
Fiend.
a good choice, though.
You know, I'll stay with that one. Liv Ronda.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I didn't expect that one. I thought a lot of people are recency bias with this one from what I'm seeing with the results. But what about you, Josh? What was your worst feud of the year?
Worst feud? That's actually a good one. Liv and Ronda.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, wow,
I think that's a good one because I was leaning towards Dexter and Miz, but the problem is that when it came to that, it started off fine. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It started off fine. It's just the problem now is that it's dragging. So I can't really say that's the worst feud. It's just fucking going too long at this point. When it came to
taking too long.
Yeah, and when it came to Ronda versus Liv, the problem is that when they make Ronda heel, everyone loves her, and then everyone just got annoyed with Liv, and her championship booking was just garbage.
Yeah,
it was garbage. Like that's just what it comes down to. Like.
Yeah.
And to the point that now she don't even have the belt no more. Liv is an afterthought. Like, so what does that tell you?
And it's also where the fans were behind her because she got such a push and she was out there like, yes, let's push. She was on TV like every day. I mean, every week. And like she was out there and she was taking matches. She was doing everything. And then when she finally did become champ, he was like, okay, well, let's see why you made her champ. Because, you know, we were rooting for her. Well, at least some people were. And it just didn't give us the. That's what I said. Not everyone.
He was like, some people were.
Some people were. But you know, you guys just didn't utilize her the way you did when she wasn't the champion. So it's like I feel like WWE loses their niche when it becomes with certain people. Once they are not the champion, you give them all of this momentum.
You know what it is with Liv too? I think that the company itself, they were going off of what the fans wanted, right?
Right.
When people, you know, sometimes people, when it comes to WWE, you know, that's always been like their biggest criticism. Like, oh, they're not listening to fans. When it came to Liv Morgan, they were listening to the fans, and they decided to roll with the ball on her, and they pretty much fumbled. I think on both ends, they didn't do her booking justice, but I don't think she did herself justice because she got sent to a prime position where I thought it was maybe a little too soon because you could say that she's improved in the ring, but at the same time you can still see that she's still not great. Like you can still see it. Yeah, exactly. Like I think what it is that she tries too many moves, like some of these springboard moves or whatever the case may be. She tries these new stuff that she tries to do and she can't pull it off, which I appreciate. I'm glad you try new stuff, but if you can't do these moves, probably shouldn't be doing them, or you shouldn't probably try to attempt it. And I think that's been her biggest problem when it comes to Liv. And they went with her, from the fans, and shit didn't go well. That's just what it is.
I mean, I would say also Triple H did very badly with her.
Hey, no, exactly. That's probably one of his worst when it comes to his overall booking. That's like
one of the worst ones of him coming back.
Yep, that's actually I would say maybe top 3.
Because she was on a good run under.
She was on a great run. Yeah,
she was doing well under Vince, and then Triple H took over, and he basically used her title reign to push Ronda. And it was never the same.
Yes, yep.
It was
especially that match, that bullshit tap out thing. That was just garbage. That was absolute garbage.
That's what made it felt bad when they made her do that stupid finish. That's where it went wrong.
It's like, bro, you book a chicken shit heel with that tactic. You don't book a super over baby face to win that way. You book a chicken shit heel to win in a bullshit way.
Yeah.
That was like that. That was downhill after that. That's where it just went. You know what? Fuck this.
Yeah, I didn't think about Liv and Ronda, but that is a good shout for sure. But let's get to what the fans voted. With 36%, the first runner-up was Roman Reigns versus Goldberg. Their little 1 month feud heading into Elimination Chamber. Everybody
I forgot about that.
I forgot all about that. Nobody wants to think about Goldberg. That's why.
I would have thought Roman and Brock would have got more votes because no one wanted to see that when it came back. But this is actually another overwhelming one, a surprising one, in fact, for me, even though I would say for this company, this is probably the worst one. The 2022 worst feud of the year, Blackpool Combat Club versus the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Okay.
47% of the vote for this one. You surprised, Josh?
A little bit, because this was another case of a storyline just dragging. That's all it really was to me. It wasn't. I don't label it as bad, as worst feud, because I look at worst feud differently. Like for example, Bray versus Orton. That's a fucking terrible feud. You see what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's a clear
that won it for us last year.
Exactly. That's a clear cut difference to worst feud. This one I don't think was the worst feud. I just think it went way too long. It's like it was a category of feuds that went way too long. This would be number one.
Yeah.
And it would be understandable if so.
And when in regards to Roman and Goldberg, I mean, one, I just forgot about it, and the match was just even that much worse, and that was more so on Goldberg, not Roman.
Yeah.
But nobody remembers that shit and then until somebody brings it up, oh wait, that match happened this year. So that's just where I stand at with that match.
Fair enough. So we got the worst feud, best feud, our past history with this award. We had worst feud of 2018 was Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. Worst feud of 2019 was Rusev versus was the Bobby Lashley sisters segment. You don't remember that?
Oh my god!
And Max Caster was one of the sisters, by the way.
Yes, that's what.
He was one of the sisters. I remember that.
Great stuff. Great. I love how memories just hit you right in the ass. Isn't it great? Then to 2020 worst feud of the year. I don't have one listed here. I believe it was the Fiend versus Goldberg was the worst feud of 2020, and then the worst feud of the year last year was Wyatt versus Orton.
Damn. Okay. So Bray Wyatt's supposed to be great, and he got two back. He had two the worst few.
I mean, is it really that surprising? No.
No, it's not surprising. That's why I find it funny when people have this real big love affair with Bray Wyatt, which I'm I get it. Yeah. At the same time, I mean, it's a pattern. He has worst gimmick. Using the Wrestling Observer, he usually gets worst gimmick. He usually gets worst feud. He usually gets worst match. That's kind of a problem to me.
He either gets worst match, worst feud, or he gets best gimmick or something like that or most.
Or sometimes worst gimmick.
Yeah,
because I think the second year when he was the Fiend, the second year he got worst gimmick. Everyone was like, "Oh, why did he get worst gimmick?" But it's now we start to see the pattern of his matches and the shit overall.
It became stale very quick.
Gimmick. Exactly. I was like, of course he's gonna get fucking worst gimmick. The shit with Seth Rollins, he has a match, he no sells everything, but then Goldberg he loses. And what?
I remember being surprised in 2019 that Rusev and Lashley. I think I said during that episode that it was some recency bias with that one because that was a later in the year rivalry. Where I thought Seth and Bray was the worst rivalry of 2019.
Yes. Yeah, so that one was more recent. Yeah, I actually agree with that because I hated that feud, the Rusev and thing. It was more so Lana. I thought Lana was doing terrible when it came to that, just her mic skills. I don't know. She kind of just went left with that. But that was more that was more considered recency bias, but I do agree that Seth and Bray should have gotten worse feud when it came to that.
So many years,
Absolutely.
Bray Wyatt. We've dealt with some crappy storylines.
You had fucking Seth Rollins screaming like a bitch in the ring when the Fiend popped out. Like he's your fucking Universal Champion. You got him screaming like a bitch.
Of course they do. Let's move on. WWE news rundown real quick here. According to a new report by TMZ Sports, former WWE superstar and NXT Women's Champion Mandy Rose has been cleaning up on her fan time subscription site since her WWE release that we talked about last week. According to the report, the former champion has made $500,000 from our content in the week that she has been released. The figure comes from Rose's agent, Maki Kawa, who said her subscription site has earned $500,000 since she got her WWE release. Kawa also reportedly predicts that Rose will be a self-made millionaire by Christmas Day, which is tomorrow. And WWE opted to release Mandy Rose after learning of her racy, risque photos on the site. And Rose has also received an outpouring of support from fans in the wake of her release, as well as AEW star Saraya, who tweeted out to her "Love you, sister" at WWE Mandy Rose. So Mandy Rose, self-made millionaire by tomorrow. Krssi Love, what's your thoughts?
Was that one of the pictures that was on her site? This one right here?
No, it was much more risky.
Oh, it was more okay.
A lot more risky. I did my reporting as well, unfortunately.
Man, I know that's tough. Due diligence. You did your due diligence, man.
It was pretty believe me, I think because the reason why too is because like what people got to understand, like the situations where people complain that hey, she was fired, but how come Matt Riddle wasn't fired and all this crazy shit. The difference is that, you know, when it comes to the wellness policy, there's a wellness policy attached to that, and there's like different steps to that. Like your first offense, hey, you're suspended for 30 days. Your second offense is 60 days. So there's a process to that. When it comes to what she was doing, there's really not really a real clean-cut process. However, it was a third-party thing that she's making a shitload of money off, which kind of made it the problem.
Yeah.
Now, do I think she should have gotten fired for it? I think a warning or some kind of like ultimatum should have been in place. It could have been. We don't know that. There could have been an ultimatum where, hey, you got to take this down.
You got to take it down, and she said no.
Or you're going to get released. We still don't know. We still don't know. Now, if that was the case, now if that was the case, then we kind of understand her firing then. But it was just like a clear cut, like, oh, you're fired after this.
Yeah.
To me, that's where you could say it was wrong. But when it comes to financially, she's banking on it. So that's a problem to me. Like when it comes to a business, and even though she's an independent contractor again, but when you're making that much money, more than you are in wrestling, when it comes to a business, then they're gonna find an easier way to put you on the chopping block, and that's what happened with Mandy.
But also, they I don't know if you guys read, they've changed their drug protocol, but I can't show my ass on the internet. Make it make sense, friends. Make it make sense. It's okay for me to use drugs.
No, I agree.
It's okay for me to use drugs and make myself an addict, but I can't show my ass on the internet. Thank you.
Which I agree with 100%. The only thing is that, you know, when it comes to that, because like there's certain structures with companies and, you know, even in sports, there's certain structures when it comes to suspensions and all this crazy stuff that they just can't, you know, they got to follow protocol. Now, if Matt Riddle was in a situation where he would have gotten fired, Matt Riddle could technically sue the company for that, because there's a protocol to the wellness policy that if they didn't follow what they were doing, then he has a strong case for that. Hey, they just fired me after one warning, when there's a policy in place that states you basically got 3 strikes. You know what I mean? And when it comes to this thing, I don't even know if there's like a real policy, and that's why probably made it easier for them to get rid of her. That's where it comes down to. There needs to be a better structured policy when it comes to certain things like this. So then it backs up not only the company, but it backs up the performer who signs this kind of contract.
Indeed. And speaking of these type of sites, a person that's been rumored to make their return to WWE, Chelsea Green, has sparked more speculation that she is returning to WWE by shutting down her OnlyFans site. Green has been reportedly been in talks with WWE since she left Impact Wrestling in November, and several people have noted that her OnlyFans account is no longer active. Green's OnlyFans account did not include nudity and was more along the lines of a bit more risque than what she posts on Instagram. Platforms such as OnlyFans, FanTime, and the like have been the big news in wrestling over the last week because of the Mandy Rose story. It is not clear exactly when Green's OnlyFans account was shut down. Meanwhile, it doesn't look like her husband Matt Cardona will join her upon her return to WWE. He is now scheduled to team with Brian Myers to face the Motor City Machine Guns, Heath Slater, as well as Bullet Club's Chris Bay and Ace Austin for the Impact World Tag Team titles at Hard to Kill. He will face Tyrese for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship later in January. And speaking of guys returning to WWE, as noted, Bronson Reed made his return to WWE. Aligning with The Miz. Fightful Select had more details about that. They confirmed that Bronson Reed did sign a new WWE contract. Bronson Reed had been working in New Japan Pro Wrestling and had even beaten Kazuchika Okada in the G1 Climax. Fightful reports that NJPW wanted to retain Reed's services and hoped he would stay here. However, it's noted that Reed was a priority hire for Triple H, and after he gained power as CCO of WWE, Reed is said to be done with New Japan at the moment, but WWE can always make a deal to allow him to appear there. And Reed's return Reed's return was not listed internally. However, talent is said to have received word that Reed would be making his return to the company, and he hasn't wrestled in the last 2 months since losing to Okada in October in New Japan. You seem very upset about Bronson Reed being back.
I mean, I get it. I understand it. Like, listen, money, it's the root to people's small type of happiness and make life a better way for things. People have families. Financially, I understand. Yes, we all go to different jobs because we're chasing the bag. But, friend, you are as an independent contractor, know that you get this bag. You'll be the Mrs. Lackey for maybe 2 to 3 months, and then you'll probably be sitting down at catering or going back to NXT. We were all rooting for you in the Tyra Banks segment of Top Model, friend.
Rooting for you.
And I just feel like this was a bad decision. I can eat crow and be wrong. Who knows? But
so you're basically saying that Bronson Reed shouldn't have been a mark for himself.
You can say that. I think that's a fair take.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. It's okay. And then even when he came back, like they didn't even like the way he came back. Like the commentators, like really, like I don't know, like they weren't on it. They didn't even. I feel like they didn't know what to say. Corey Graves didn't even know. Like it was all bad. It was just, and the
they
people
didn't
were
seem
just like
excited.
They didn't seem excited. The crowd was not excited, so that didn't help either.
Right.
And Corey Graves is usually Corey Graves, even with how bad he's gotten, he's usually pretty good with that. Like when it comes to like returns, he's usually pretty good with that.
Right.
And this one was kind of like was pretty
line.
butt from him. Yeah, it was butt.
It was yeah, not pretty, but it was. It just.
We got to talk about more WWE news as the rated R superstar Edge may be on his way back to television. Fightful Select had a report on Edge this week. According to the report, Edge's current WWE deal has limited dates, which is why he has been off of television for a while to build a potential rematch with Judgment Day or Finn Balor. According to a WWE higher up, the vignettes with Edge over the summer were reportedly done as a way to buy some weeks on TV.
Just like that. Sorry. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Edge reportedly signed a 3-year contract in 2022, which included 25 appearances and 5 matches per year. However, Edge ended up working 10 matches in 2021. He's already worked 6 matches in 2022, so it's possible some of the information is incorrect or has been amended. It's unknown how many dates are currently on Edge's contract or if the deal might be ending soon. Fightful also notes that the former WWE champion did have talks with AEW before ultimately signing with WWE for his return. And Edge has also been in the news because he's rumored for a return, and he is expected to renew his rivalry with Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match. WrestlingNews.co has a report that says that the two will face each other in the gimmick match at Royal Rumble. Another rumored match for the event would be a pitch black match, which has been pitched for Bray Wyatt. So it possibly is a match with Bray Wyatt and LA Knight. The updated lineup for WWE's Royal Rumble right now is Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens for the top title, Ronda Rousey versus Raquel Rodriguez, the men's and women's Royal Rumble, pitch black match, and Edge and Balor inside Hell in a Cell. And that will all lead into WrestleMania. And Ringside News, as well as the Wrestling Observer newsletter, reports that WWE Creative has been pitching new ideas for Roman Reigns at WrestleMania if The Rock is unable to show. As of now, if The Rock is able to make the event and decides to, he will wrestle Roman Reigns. While that is not a lock yet, it's also not off the table. Because of this, WWE has to have a backup plan, and that's why they are working on one now, and nothing is confirmed yet, and likely won't be until just before the Royal Rumble. So basically, they are crossing their fingers, making prayers that The Rock faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania.
I mean, it's not needed. I don't give a shit about it.
Me neither. I don't either. I agree.
This shit should have happened like a couple years ago because, I mean, just the whole aspect. Like, you know, technically
that's something that's out of their control because this LA WrestleMania was supposed to be 37, not 30.
Yeah. No, I'm saying, but like, as in, like, No, not as in that, but I'm talking about like even before that. In my opinion, I'm like, they should have just happened, like the whole shit when they had Taker pass the torch to Roman Reigns. I mean, didn't do nothing for neither guy.
He should have turned heel. He should have turned heel right after.
Yeah, and he kept just coming back after that. But it's just a whole aspect of like, I mean, the match happens. What does this even exactly do? Like, because it's their pipe dream. It was a pipe dream between both guys that, hey, we're going to wrestle each other one day based off the Young Rock. And then it finally happens. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. I just don't want to really, I don't need it. I don't want to really see it. If it happens, it happens. The only thing I'm going to say is that if it happens, this makes Triple H no better than Vince McMahon when it comes to plugging in this shit. It makes him no better. So, hey, I look forward to either way.
Either way, you're good. We go to AEW news now. While speaking with Mike Winsermacher of 92.7 W May, Lana done got Miro in some trouble, I think. She talked about the current status of her husband. She says, while you know it so happens that the Redeemer is fighting some battlefields against a couple of gods, Rusev Day will never die. It's going to be around. The kids are going to want to sing it, and I'm sure it will make a return in WWE at some point. Rusev, well, whatever he shows up back in, whatever freaking name or gimmick or character he returns as at some point in WWE is going to be iconic. You know, that's the great thing about wrestling is that it doesn't matter what company you work for, what promotion, anything can happen. Let's be honest. We know that everyone always returns back to WWE at some point. This coming off the heels of Rusev being off television, and Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter noted that the real reason behind Miro's absence from AEW is apparently there were plans for Miro after All Out, after he teamed with Sting and Darby to defeat the House of Black, that he didn't like. Tony Khan went to Miro in September with an idea to build to a match at Full Gear, and Miro didn't want to do it. Meltzer noted that several of the people who signed with AEW after leaving WWE are very leery about doing jobs. This makes it hard to book them, and since they would have to lose at times, Bryan Danielson seems to be the only one that's an exception to this rule. He added that AEW is continuing to talk with Miro about ideas to bring him back, but CJ Perry hinting at his WWE WWE return probably wouldn't help him. Miro posted to his Twitter account on Thursday, tagging Meltzer and writing, "What happened between January and June?" Meltzer initially responded with, "Why don't you tell us?" before pointing to the hamstring injury that Miro suffered at last year's Full Gear. It's worth noting that it was reported in March when Miro signed with a multi-year extension with AEW that his hamstring injury had been healing up at that point and he was ready to go, and Miro returned on June 1st, but has only worked 4 matches in 2022 so far. CJ Perry done pulled the Melissa Santos. How Melissa Santos got Brian Cage off of television. It sounds like Lana did the same thing for Miro.
I mean,
she's advocating for her man. She want her man to be on TV, and she needs someone. She needs to say something. Then he needs these checks coming in a little bit better. So I'm gonna say something. If he's not gonna say that, I'm gonna say something. That's what she did. Yep.
Go get it, Krssi. Defend that.
That aspect I get it. It's just she probably shouldn't have involved WWE when she did that, because that was just pretty stupid and ridiculous after he just signed a 4-year deal. Like, why would you bring that up? Like, why is that even a thought at this moment?
She wants Papa H to go and revoke that contract and let me in, friend. Let me in.
But then again, I mean, see, she does tend to do dumb shit. I mean, it's not the first time she's done it. So, I mean, it's like
not the first time at all.
It's not the first time, so I was like, not really surprising, but I'm like, probably shouldn't be getting your husband into trouble like this.
Like, you should shush. He should have been like, shush, honey. No. Don't say that. Don't say that. Just shush.
Yeah.
Let's move.
And that's why it's a little weird to me, because remember, like when they were talking about like the voting about like when they voted for FTR as the most underutilized, when people voted for Miro.
Yeah.
That's why it's a little weird for me, because like, if AEW is working with Miro and he doesn't like their ideas, what they're supposed to do, they're not going to throw him out there. He's going to be miserable. He's going to be more miserable. So I think in an aspect, at least they're looking out for his best interest, if you think about it, because if they're willing to do something for him and he doesn't like it, they're not just throwing him out, well, you need to do this and, you better do it. At least they're not doing that. So, I mean, they're trying to work something with him. It's not like they're not working with him. They're trying to do it. Hopefully it happens soon, man. Like, this has been his he looks great. I mean, he's in the best shape of his life, and this is what WWE should have been doing with him while he was Rusev. And they just have a big opportunity. Like, just find a way to
I would say AEW didn't capitalize on what was a great 2021 for Miro.
Exactly. More so, yeah. After when he had the TNT title run, which is actually really great. I thought they should have built off of that.
Yeah. We got a bit of New Japan news. PW Insider reports that former WWE superstar Sasha Banks has already arrived in Japan ahead of next month's NJPW Wrestle Kingdom 17 event. She's expected to appear at the event and work with NJPW in the coming months. The company has not announced her appearance as of yet, and according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, this is because New Japan is hoping to keep her appearance a surprise. Also, New Japan has announced that the KOPW trophy is no more. It has been replaced with a brand new championship. The title vacates every year, so current champion Shingo Takagi is the official champion for 2022, but is no longer the champion. The new champion will be decided in the New Japan Rambo at Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. And Prestige Wrestling announced that Athena will defend her newly won Ring of Honor Women's World Championship against Miyu Yamashita on January 21st at Prestige's Vendetta show. So that should be a very good one. Interesting matchup there.
That should be great.
Now let's get back to the last couple of awards here. Best promotion of 2022. Krssi Love, who you got?
Is that really a question? New Japan.
Who you got?
New Japan.
You got New Japan. Wow. Okay. Go ahead. Josh, who you got?
I'll go AEW. Even with all the stuff they had to deal with backstage, I still think they put on great shows overall. So go with AEW.
So the winner of the 2022 Best Promotion, once again, I think this is 2, 3, 4 years in a row since 2019. Well, pretty much they've won every year. And it is All Elite Wrestling, the best promotion of the year, 54% of the vote, so a little bit closer than the past couple of years. Going into that, also the 2022 Best Booker of the Year with 58% of the vote. I thought this would be closer. It is also Tony Khan. Tony Khan, Best Booker of 2022. Now we got Best Major Show
You know
of
he ain't gonna
2022.
be too
Close the
happy.
door, please.
You know Jimmy. Jimmy ain't gonna be too happy about that.
No, Jimmy's gonna be pissed. Jimmy's gonna be pissed. Best Major Show of 2022, Miss Krssi Love.
AEW, duh.
No, Best Major Show, Best Pay-Per-View.
Oh, best pay-per-view. Oh, I'm gonna go Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door for you, Josh.
Yep.
I was deciding between Revolution or Forbidden Door. I'm gonna go Revolution.
Revolution. And I would go my best major show. I've gone back and forth. I think the WWE Clash at the Castle was one of the best shows WWE's ever produced. WWE WrestleMania 38 Night 1 was so much fun. AEW, all of their pay-per-views delivered, but 3 in particular. I loved AEW Full Gear.
All Out.
And the company really needed that.
Yeah.
I wasn't as high on All Out, and All Out got a bunch of votes. We'll talk about it in our best of major shows of the year video, but coming in at number 1, 13 out of 26 nominations with 7 first place votes. AEW Revolution is the best major show of 2022.
I'm not mad at it at all. I'm not mad at it. It was a great show.
It was top to bottom. This was like the height of AEW. You had the CM Punk MJF dog collar match, Hangman versus Adam Cole for the AEW World Championship, Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston versus Chris Jericho, Jurassic Express versus Red Dragon versus Young Bucks. You had Keith Lee, Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs in that ladder match with Orange Cassidy. You had Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. This show, top to bottom, is one of the most stacked AEW shows of all time.
I'm not mad at it at all, peeps. I agree. It's great.
Yeah.
It was a great, solid pay-per-view from beginning to end.
Love this comment here. Roxy said, damn, Jimmy would have had a heart attack. Yes, his head is exploding right now. Let's go to the other end of the spectrum. Worst major show. This for me is easy. WWE Royal Rumble, the worst major show. Josh, who you got?
I'm gonna go Royal Rumble too.
Who you got, Krssi?
They crucified and demolished one of the big 4 Royal Rumble. Especially, we should have known it was bad when they did what they did to Sasha Banks that night.
Yes, we
should have
been
a sign.
coming.
We should have known that it was.
And you know what's crazy when it comes to that, right? Because realistically, I don't have a problem with Sasha Banks.
Yeah,
it's just that our guy, relapse guy JJ, he always has this hard on when it comes to her that she can't do no wrong, and it's always fun to see when she loses to see his reaction to it.
Yeah,
he was even there in person when it happened. We warned him not to go there. He told us he wasn't going to go there. He flat out lied, and he ended up seeing one of the worst shows of the year. So that's good for him.
He was tight too. All that money he spent, he was tight.
He was
That's
so upset. He was so happy to see her, and then so upset afterwards. So we all are going with.
Then we see him on the post show. He was drunk, and then we were was it that night?
I think so. It was not good. We all went with the Royal Rumble, and ironically enough, that's the second runner-up.
What the fuck?
Second runner-up, Royal Rumble with 10% of the vote. Number 2 with 16% of the vote. NWA Hard Times 3. I just think that this is people just voting for it because it was bad. I don't think people that voted for it even watched the show. But
I didn't watch it, so I can't vote for it. I didn't watch it, so I can't vote for it.
Yes. And coming in at number 1 with 35% of the vote, WWE Elimination Chamber. And I would say if it's between Chamber and Royal Rumble, Chamber was better this year.
Yeah, it's that's actually That's not a bad pick because
Fair enough.
I guess it's just because what transpired at the main event. What transpired? They wrote Lashley out, and then Brock just killed everybody. Like that was the gist of the match. Like that's what happened.
Yep.
Now we go to worst match of the year. This one was easy for me. I went with Vince McMahon versus Pat McAfee from WrestleMania 38. Who you got, Josh?
Yo, that's actually a good one. Fuck, that's actually a good one.
All about that one, to be honest.
It's just like, damn, is that
You tried to? I don't remember. I don't forget things that bad.
It's like, damn, is that like damn, that is.
I had to see a 76-year-old man wrestle.
Yeah, that's a good choice. I'm gonna go with that.
Mine is Ronda versus Liv Morgan.
That's a fair.
Which one?
I think that's fair.
Which one?
The one with the stupid ending.
Oh, SummerSlam.
Oh, SummerSlam. Yeah, that's.
I think that's fair. I'm gonna go with that.
That's fair.
I'm gonna go with Ronda versus Liv at SummerSlam.
Coming in, all right, our 2022 worst match of the year, 63% of the vote. Vince McMahon at 76 years old.
And I get it. And I get it. I'm not even mad. I get it. I 100% get it. So and then the segment got even worse after that.
Exactly.
Like that's how it tells you. Like how
the stunners was the best part, but that was after the bell rung.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was a stunner that was like fucking Vince's shit. He fucked it up, but I mean, Pat like drinking the beer was great. But it was man, that shit was rough. That was 100% rough. Like,
so to go over the history of some of these awards we just gave out. Promotion of the year, 2017, 2018 was New Japan. Every year since has been AEW. Then for Best Booker, Tony Khan won it last year and the year before that. That's when we started doing that because there wasn't a lot of options out there. It would have been Gato all the time. Best Major Show 2017 was Wrestle Kingdom 11. 2018 was NXT Takeover New Orleans. In 2019 it was AEW Double or Nothing. 2020 was also AEW Double or Nothing, and then 2021 was AEW All Out. And worst major show, it's been Sweet Saudi Money. So I think that's why. That's another thing. Now I know the theme of our worst major show of the year award is that every year has been given to the Sweet Saudi Money show since 2018. So this is another Sweet Saudi Money pay-per-view that wins it.
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
Very possible, but I mean, it was just a bad show. I mean, it was a good show because remember last year when they went,
it was okay.
Yeah, which show was it? The Saudi show that they went last year, and it was like, holy shit, it was actually really great to watch.
Crown Jewel this year right? was really good too.
So that's why I was like,
Crown Jewel was good, yeah. They've
kind of stepped it up.
The last two times that they've been there was good.
Yeah, it's just like now more so. I don't know. Elimination Chamber for me is like one of those things where it's just a match itself. It don't even feel dangerous no more. It's just a fucking giant gimmick match that I don't give a fuck about.
True. We got match of the year, the most important of the year. We're gonna do our top 20 video that's gonna drop before the end of the year. But Miss Krssi Love, your match of the year.
Match of the year, I'm going to go Briscoe's FTR dog collar match.
Josh, who you got?
Match of the year. I'm gonna go with shit. Which one should I pick? It's actually a good one. My mind is blank right now.
Just pick one.
Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Okada versus Ospreay.
A G1 final. That's mine. That's
a good
G1 final.
Yeah. That's my.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah, you can. You're going with that one?
Across the board. Yep, across the board.
Bet. So we all went with Okada Ospreay G1 final. match of the years in the past. 2017, you had Okada Omega 2 from Dominion, the 60-minute time limit draw. 2018, you had Gargano versus Ciampa was our match of the year from Takeover New Orleans. In 2019, it was Cody versus Dustin. Actually, it was Cole versus Gargano. Very close race. I have it written down here. It was only by 2 votes. Cole and Gargano from Takeover New York beat over Cody and Dustin. 2020, you had Bucks versus Hangman and Omega. And then last year, you had Bucks and Lucha Bros just beating out Baker and Rosa for the match of the year. So this year, first time ever, WWE main roster wins the match of the year with 14 out of 26 nominations, 2 first place votes. Gunther versus Sheamus from WWE.
Oh, okay, I'm not mad at it.
Is the match of the year voted on by the fans and our contributors here at Tru Heel Heat. One of the greatest WWE matches of all time. So deserving of the match of the year.
Absolutely. I agree. I'm not mad at that one. That was a banger of that. Okay, not mad.
Yes, and it only got 2 first place votes, but everyone else that voted for it was literally like number 2, number 3. So that's why it got the first place for the match.
I think that was like my 3rd one, to be honest.
Yeah, it was either 2 or 3. If it wasn't number 1 for you, it was either 2 or 3. So very good numbers for Gunther and Sheamus. We only have 2 final awards to give, the male and female wrestler of the year. But before we come back for Tru Heel Heat in 2023, Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th will be going down. So I want to run through the card very quick. We only get a couple of predictions from the cast here. New Japan Pro Wrestling has a stacked card for this year's Wrestle Kingdom event. Already the card is already been announced. You got, Sasha Banks possibly coming, getting people hyped. You have Botsman Elgin. He's going to be making his debut in an exhibition match. He'll go one-on-one with Ruya Uya. I loved how they say Uya. That's how they say his last name. Both guys are very amateur wrestling based, so it should be a fun 3-minute exhibition match. They'll determine the King of Pro Wrestling 2023 with a qualifier in the New Japan Rambo. That's going to be on the pre-show. Then on the main show, Antonio Inoki memorial match. Yuji Nagata, Kojima, and Makabe will verse Tatsumi Fujinami, Minoru Suzuki, and Tiger Mask. So 6 legends in the ring there. You got Kenji Muda's last New Japan Pro Wrestling match as he'll team with Hiroshi Tanahashi and Shoto Umino to verse Los Ingobernables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito, Sanada, and Bushi. This multi-man match should be a lot of fun. Then you have the title matches, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championships.
Look at these hairstyles. Oh my God.
TJP and Francisca Akira of Catch 22 will defend against the winners of the Super Junior Tag League, Lio Rush and Yo. I'm going with Lio Rush and Yo to be the new champions. Josh, who you got?
Lio Rush and Yo.
Krssi?
Across the board, Lio Rush. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Unanimous. Lio Rush and Yo for the winners.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yes.
IWGP Tag Team Championships. FTR will defend against the winners of the World Tag League, Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi. I'm going with Bishamon to win the championships. I think this is continuing the FTR downward spiral. What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them. I think FTR drops the titles and more speculation of them going back to WWE.
Exactly.
It's just gonna get brought up.
Krssi? I think she's on a delay, y'all.
Hell. Damn it. Go. I don't want to believe this. Damn. All right. Sorry. Can you Goto.
Goto and Yoshihashi. She's going for. There you got for the never open weight championship. Carl Anderson, WWE superstar Carl Anderson, will defend the never open weight championship against Tama Tonga. I'm going with Tama here. Who you got?
I'm going with Tama. They're like, oh, we're gonna just drop the title and Carl Anderson could just focus on his shitty feuds with the OC and on Raw.
Exactly. You got for the NJPW World TV Championship, Ren Narita versus Zack Sabre Jr. in the finals. Ren Narita, a student of Shibata, versus the man that first him in his first official match back, Zack Sabre Jr. here. So the only two men that have faced Shibata in New Japan since his return, going at it for the TV title. Who becomes the new champion, Josh?
I guess I'm gonna go with I'll go with Sabre just because that's a safer bet for me.
I'm going
that too much.
I'm going with Ren Narita. Ren Narita, I feel like the title was made to kind of give Narita something to start off with his New Japan career. So I think he gets the win here.
Yeah, I could see that. I think I'm just going more with a familiar face. I think they'll probably do that, but I wouldn't be mad at that.
For the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, it's going to be a four-way Taiji Ishimori defending against El Desperado, Hiromu Takahashi, and Master Wato. This was set up after Master Wato beat Ishimori in a singles match, non-title. Ishimori had challenges from him, as well as El Desperado, a former champion, Hiromu Takahashi, winner of 4 Best of Super Juniors, and now he defends against all 4 men here. I'm going with Hiromu for the win. Who you got, Josh?
Oh yeah, I'm going with Takahashi.
Takahashi
for the win from all of us. For the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, this is the reason we had to preview this match, this card on this show here. It's going to be Will Ospreay defending against Kenny Omega. And after doing the history of our Tru Heel Heat awards and realizing these are the only 2 guys that have ever won our most outstanding wrestler, we know 2023 is starting off with the classic. Krssi Love, who you got?
God. I know Okada's not going to come all the way over there to lose, which is the sad
mean Omega?
Part. I mean, yes, Omega. Sorry, wrong person. So I'm going to go with Omega, even though I really feel like Will should win, but I'm going to go Omega.
Who you got, Josh?
I'm gonna go with Will. I think he wins. Unless if there's a situation where they find a way to continue this feud, then Kenny should win, because then it's gonna prove Kenny's point of Ospreay, being less of him. So I'll be fine either way. I'll be fine either way. Yeah, I'll go with Will. I'll stick with that for now.
I'm going to go with Will as well, because this feels like this could be his biggest
moment.
Yet. Yeah, this could be his biggest win yet. And
so then change my answer then too. Fuck it.
And kind of make up for him losing in the G1. I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because he shouldn't have lost. Okay. Well, you heard my answer. I really want Will to win. So yes, let's have Will win.
Yeah, it's just I think honestly either way, I'm fine with either way, just because like I said, like if they find a way to try to continue it. I obviously, if that was the route they want to go, Kenny winning would make sense because of that, because it will prove Kenny's point of what he's been saying about Will. But Will does need a big win. This will be his biggest win probably of his career. So either way, I think either way is not wrong. Yeah. Either way, the fans win.
This is the real main event of Wrestle Kingdom, but there is going to be another match to close the show. You got Switchblade Jay White defending the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship against the former champion, the winner of the G1 Climax 32 tournament, Kazuchika Okada. Jay White 4-1 all time against Kazuchika Okada, the best record against Okada of anyone in history. Krssi, who you got?
Jay White, no question. I don't give a shit what it is. I'm going Jay White.
I love the energy.
That's it.
I love that
Jay
energy.
White.
Say it with your chest, sis. Say it with your chest. Josh, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Okada.
I'll go with Okada as well. Despite him being my guy and my boss of the Bullet Club, I gotta go with
Right. How
Switchblade
you gonna
Jay
go
White.
against the right? Damn, yo.
But for many people, like I said, that's gonna end the show. That's gonna headline the show. Osprey and Okada. Osprey and Omega is kind of the dream match everyone wants to see. In a lot of ways, though, everyone's looking forward to this match for the IWGP Women's Championship. Kyrie going one-on-one with Tam Nakano. I think this match is gonna be surprisingly great, but I think it's no question. Kyrie wins, and then Mercedes Moné makes her New Japan debut.
Amazing.
What do you think, Krssi?
Kyrie for the win.
Kyrie, and you think Sasha arrives afterwards?
I would hope so. Let her come.
Josh?
Yeah, I think Kyrie wins, and then that's how you build off Mercedes. I don't know. They're gonna go with Monet or Banks. I hope they keep Banks because Monet, I don't know, it makes my head hurt.
No, I don't think she can take Sasha with her though.
She could take Banks. She could be
No, she could take Banks. She could take Banks, so she could say Mercedes Banks. And that's actually one.
Oh.
And that's actually one of the names she did trademark. She did trademark.
Yeah.
Multiple names, and that was one of them that she trademarked.
Keep it still Banks in the family. Got it. I like it. I love it.
She's still the Banks. She's just a different sister, twin sister of Sasha.
Yep. Twin sister. Yep.
Let's talk the final awards as we close up shop here for our 6th annual Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards, and it's the most important awards of the night, of the day, of Christmas Eve, of our end-of-year awards. It's the wrestlers of the year, the male and female wrestler of the year. Let's start off female wrestler of the year, Krssi Love.
Banks. I'm sorry, not Banks. Belair.
No.
I was about to say, being controversial. There is someone that gave Sasha Banks her first place votes. I just wanted to get that out there.
Of course somebody did.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Bianca.
I went with Bianca Belair as well. I think it was very close with Shuri from Stardom. She had a hell of a year. Was PWI.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too, but I was like, I've seen more from Bianca. So I just gotta go with what I've seen more, unfortunately. So I went with Bianca.
Smart, and it shouldn't be a surprise to many people here. With 24 out of 26 nominations, only 2 people not putting Bianca on the ballot. With 19 first place votes, the best female wrestler of 2022 is Bianca Belair. What a year for Bianca Belair, beating Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, holding the Raw Women's Championship for the past 8 months. Great matches with Bayley, with Asuka, with Damage Control, the Women's War Games. Bianca Belair always delivering, so consistent, and feels like the top star of the women's division in WWE.
And her matches have been getting better too. Like
Yes.
her overall improvement is like, honestly, and I've been saying that for a while. Like she's like one of the few, like if you really see like her progression, it's been fast. Not only fast, but every time she's out there, she's gotten better.
And this was our most overwhelming winner of any of the ones that we got like proper nominations for. 19 out of the 24 nominations had her at the top. She was number 1 on 19 out of 24 nominations that had her listed. A hell of a year for Bianca Belair, and she deserves to be the women's wrestler of the year, female wrestler of the year. Now we got the final award of the day. We got Negro Buck, who says Shuri is amazing from what I've seen, but I've been following Bianca more than this year, and her body of work speaks for itself. Well, it's only about this year, but
right.
It doesn't matter what her body of work is. It just matters what she did this year. But let's go male wrestler of the year. Before male wrestler of the year, just to give the history of the female wrestler of the year. 2017, Asuka won. In 2018, Io Shirai won. In Becky Lynch won in 2018. 2019, Io Shirai won it. In 2020, Io Shirai won it again. And 2021, Britt Baker won it.
Okay.
Those were Io Shirai 2019, 2020 was when she was basically killing it in NXT.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah. So understandable, but Bianca Belair, first time winner this year, 2022. Now 2022 Male Wrestler of the Year, the last award of the day. Krssi, who you got?
Ospreay.
Will Ospreay once again, most outstanding Male Wrestler of the Year for Krssi. Josh, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Will Ospreay.
It was very close. This was another one where I felt it was a 3-horse race. In my opinion, it's Will Ospreay for his high level of in-ring action. It was Jon Moxley for AEW, just being the workhorse and always coming through for them whenever they needed it. And in my opinion, who I gave the honor to, Roman Reigns. I said Roman Reigns turned his whole entire year around, and I felt like Roman Reigns had always been just close to winning the Wrestler of the Year. Like, he comes back in 2020, had a hell of a final 5 to 6 months of that year, but it was only half the year. He couldn't win it then. Then 2021, Omega has that hell of a run where he's winning titles all over the place while Roman is dominant in WWE. And after SummerSlam, he just didn't have another great match after John Cena last year. This year, though, he saved all his crap for the beginning of the year, and then in the summer, he's had nothing but bangers ever since. Had one of the best TV matches of the year against Matt Riddle on SmackDown. Had a hell of a 6-man tag against RK Bro and Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania Backlash with the Usos. Had that insane bananas last man standing match with Brock Lesnar. Pulls off one of the best WWE matches of the year with a bona fide rookie and Logan Paul at Crown Jewel. Great match with Drew McIntyre at Clash at the Castle. His part in the whole Bloodline storyline. And then the matchup at the men's War Games. I think Roman Reigns is the Male Wrestler of the Year, but it's not up to me. Not up to just me. It's up to you. Voted on by you of 20 out of 26 nominations for our winner of the 2022 Male Wrestler of the Year. He received 5 first-place votes. To go over the history of our top prize here in 2017, AJ Styles was the winner. 2018, Kenny Omega. 2019, Adam Cole. 2020, Jon Moxley. And 2021, Kenny Omega. 2022 Male Wrestler of the Year is Jon Moxley. Is the Male Wrestler of the Year for 2022. Like I said, 20 out of 26 nominations. 5 first place votes, which was the reason that put him over the top over the 3-horse race that I said this Male Wrestler of the Year was. We'll talk more about the numbers and the stats behind that in our Male Wrestler of the Year video. But what do you guys think about Jon Moxley winning the award?
I'm not really mad about it. I kind of expected it. I definitely expected him at least top 3. So something wrong with that. So
he
I
was
think
my top 3. So
I think you could have gone with either guy. The top 3, you could have gone with either guy. You made good points about Roman Reigns because I was kind of like, how do I feel about Roman Reigns? He became part-time, and some of his matches have been, main event style where he goes out of the ring, takes his time. He walks to the ring. It takes him 20 minutes to get to the ring, all that stuff. But you made some good points. I mean, honestly, you make some good points about Roman Reigns to be number 1. So you couldn't have gone wrong with either guy.
No, any of those 3 I would have accepted as a legitimate answer, and it seems that the awards kind of skewed that way. But that finally brings us to an end on our 6th annual Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards. I want to thank Josh and Krssi so much for joining me on this journey. My favorite episode of Tru Heel Heat every single year, seeing what the fans have voted as the best of the year and hearing what you guys think was the best of the year. So, Josh, thank you for joining us. Please let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, jmpunk321. Every Monday's Rated Raw Superstars watch along. We won't be doing one this Monday. I think they're just doing a recap show, so we already decided that we're just gonna pass on that. You can find me also every Wednesday on Elite Heat. Thankfully we watch better wrestling that night. But you can find me there this coming Wednesday as well.
Krssi Love.
Hey friends, you can find me here on our flagship show every Saturday, 11:05, which is for Tru Heel Heat. Serving face and he'll be back in the new year. And also you can find me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook, which is Krssi Love _1 or Tru Heel Krssi Love. And I'm on some watch alongs, so I can't wait for next year's watch alongs. It's going to be great. Other than that, that's it for me over here. Have a great holiday, peeps. Be merry and
I had
nice.
to put back on my jingle balls to end the show.
Hey.
That's what he did.
End my day with some jingle balls. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for an excellent 2022 here for us at Tru Heel Heat. I know I said I would put best guest and all that. I'll save that for the community tab, and we'll come back with the first flagship episode of 2023, and we'll give the winners for the best guest and all the Tru Heel Heat centric votes and stuff. But thank you so much to everyone that contributed to the voting. Like I said, it took a while for me to tally everything up, but I appreciate everyone who did with the old process and the new process this year. Next year we're gonna have one central process for everything. But Merry Christmas. I hope everyone enjoys the holiday, spends it with you and yours, and really appreciate those around you during this holiday season. And we appreciate all of y'all for the support and the love you give us every single week here on our flagship podcast. That's why we do it and cover everything in the wrestling world the way we do. Follow me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. It's patreon.com/Tru Heel Heat. $3 a month prediction championship. You got the Raw recaps. We'll have more content in the new year. Tru Heel Heat Sports has been growing. We're trying to hit 300 subscribers over there. Very close to that number as well. And twitch.tv/Tru Heel Heat Gaming for more exclusive content, as well as our gaming content coming up in 2022. But we'll have more year-end awards. It's coming out. We'll have our top 20 matches of the year, top 10 best male wrestlers, female wrestlers, major show, promos of the year, tag team of the year videos coming up. Tomorrow, dropping our best WWE matches of 2022. But for the Cheeto Man, Josh, for Miss Krssi Love, and Russia, always disconnecting her internet. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been Tru Heel Heat 206 with our 6th annual Tru Heel Heat Year-End Awards. We are signing off until next time.